Good morning. Good morning. We'd like to have our. Go ahead, Joe.
Good morning, Board President Dr. Chan, Interim Executive Officer Christy Bell, distinguished board members. I'm Investigator Joe Tippins. I'm an investigator with the Enforcement Unit here in Sacramento, and I'll be providing our safety brief this morning. In the event that we have a disturbance in the audience, we would ask that everybody pause, and Dr. Chan will address the disturbance. If the disturbance were to escalate, he can call a recess, and then Investigator Corbin and I will address any issues at that point. In the event that an active shooter situation were to occur, we would ask that all board members evacuate through the door that's behind you and to your left. Any members of the audience, you would evacuate through the door that's behind in the room. Stay away from the investigators, and we will address those issues. Thank you for your time and have a good meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Officer Tippins. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Dental Board of California meeting. My name is Dr. Steve Chan, and I'm the president of the Dental Board. Today is Thursday, November 6th, 2025. This board meeting is being held via teleconference with the disclosed in-person location available for the board and public members. Ooh, I don't have all the rest of my script. For all those who wish to participate online, please log in to the WebEx website provided on the posted agenda for this meeting. Instructions to connect the meeting are provided on the WebEx website provided on the posted agenda for this meeting. Instructions to connect to the meeting are provided on the agenda. Please be mindful of the words and tone you use when sharing your thoughts. We understand that issues discussed here may be deeply personal or frustrating, especially when we find ourselves on opposite sides of an issue. But even in disagreement, we ask that everyone engage respectfully. Let's aim for a dialogue that is constructive rather than contentious. Please remember that every process, discussion, and decision undertaken by the board is grounded on our mission to protect consumers. That remains at the heart of all we do. The DCA moderator will explain the process for providing public comment shortly. For individuals participating via WebEx, when called upon, the moderator will give individual permission to unmute themselves, and they will have 2 minutes to make public comment. The moderator will audibly announce the 30 seconds remain to the public comment. After 2 minutes have elapsed, the individual will be placed back on mute. Only one public comment per agenda item is allowed per attendee. We ask that all speakers please stay on topic and not repeat testimony already provided. If you agree with testimony already provided, please just state your name and that you are in support of any comments previously provided. I will now like to ask the DCA moderator to please explain how public comments are to be taken during this meeting.
Thank you. This is the moderator. For the purposes of today's meeting, when the board president opens public comment, members of the public who would like to provide public comment at our DCA location in Sacramento can approach the table and microphone at the front of the room. For those joining via WebEx, when the board opens for public comment, I will announce that a comment period is open. Members of the public will then be able to click on the hand icon to raise their hands. Instructions will also be on the screen as they are now. Call-in users will need to press *3 to raise their hands. You'll have 2 minutes to provide your public comment with a 30-second warning before your time is up. The instructions to connect to the meeting are linked on page 1 of the agenda. If you're experiencing audio issues and are using a computer or mobile device, follow the call-in instructions on page 2 of the instructions to connect to the meeting and use your cell phone as a speaker. While you are free to express criticism or negative views, for the sake of the members of the public participating on the call, please do not use profane language when making public comments to the board. I'll provide a brief reminder of this approach at the start of each public comment item.
Thank you. This meeting is called to order. There are 2 board members participating in this meeting remotely. Each board member participating remotely must disclose whether or not there are any other individuals 18 years of age or older present in the room at the remote location with the board member. The general nature of the board members' relationship must be disclosed with any individuals. Dr. Takur, is there anyone 18 years of age or older present in the room with you at your remote location? Dr.
No.
Takur.
No,
Dr. Yu, is there anyone 18 years of age or older present in the room with you at your remote location?
No.
Thank you. Board members participating remotely are reminded that they must visibly appear on camera during the open portion of the meeting. If the remote member experiences any trouble with visibly appearing on camera, the member shall announce the reason for their non-appearance when they turn off the camera, such as due to challenges with internet connectivity. We'd like to ask the board secretary to please call the roll.
Good morning. This is Dr. Letting, Board Secretary. I will now call the roll. Chan,
Yeah, here.
Chan, here, present. Cheng,
Chang, present.
Cheng, present. David,
David, present.
David, present. Deer King,
Deer King, present.
Deer King, present. Felsenfeld,
Felsenfeld, present.
Felsenfeld, present. Forge,
Forge, present.
Forge, present. Grewal,
Graywall present.
Grewal, present. Larin, present. Medina,
Medina present.
Medina, present. Olage,
Olagi present.
Olage, present. Takur,
Takur present.
Takur, present. Vader Holdley, Vader Holdley, present. You
present.
present. We have a quorum.
Thank you. We will now move on to agenda item 2, public comment on items not on the agenda. We're on page 6 of the meeting materials. Before we open public comment on matters not on the agenda, I would like to remind individuals making comments not to discuss pending complaints, pending licensing applications, or pending disciplinary actions that may come later before the board for a decision. Such discussions are considered ex parte communications as they could provide information to the board members that is outside of the record in violation of the Administrative Procedure Act. Such discussions could create a conflict and lead to a board discussion being challenged in Superior Court. Accordingly, if individuals make comments on pending disciplinary matters, the individual will be interrupted. The board can, of course, receive comments regarding the board's processes in general, but it cannot receive comments on specific case circumstances where the decision is still pending. In addition, public comments should address the board as a whole and not individual members. Please be aware that public comment during this agenda item should provide information to the board members, but it is not a discussion between board members and the public. The only action board members can take right now is to listen to comments and decide whether they want to have a future agenda item on the topic. Though this may seem at times like board members are not being responsive, following these guidelines is critical to ensure the rules of the Open Meeting Act are followed to avoid compromising the speaker's goal or the board's mission. In the interest of time, as we've done in the past, we would like to request that public comments not repeat statements by a prior commenter. If you are in support of a statement made by a prior individual and your comments have already been made, please just state your name or association and your support for the previous commenter. Legislative hearings regularly use this practice as a good way to ensure that we hear from everyone today. Are there any in-person comments on this agenda item? Good morning. Oh, good. No, good. Still morning.
So good morning, board members. I'm Joan Greenfield, representing the California Extended Function Association. I'd just like to bring to the board members' attention that in 2024, a legislative bill passed that included the removal of the dental hygiene member from the board and replacing them with an additional dental assistant. And I am wondering why that hasn't happened and would urge the board members and/or staff or all together to get that taken care of. I understand perhaps it's the governor's office that does that appointment, but perhaps the board could put some, a little pressure there to see that that position is filled. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Are there any in-person comments from the public? Seeing none. Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on an item that is not already on the agenda, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. If you're on a computer, you will see the raise hand at the bottom of your WebEx screen. If you are on a mobile device, you may have to choose the 3-dot other options to get to the second screen to see the hand icon. And any call-in users can press *3 to raise their hand. Are there any comments on issues that are not already on the agenda? I do not see any requests for speaking, so I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to move now on to agenda item 3, discussion and possible action on the board meeting minutes. And we're on pages 7 to 21 of the meeting materials.
I'll move approval on the August 14th minutes. Robert
You
David.
second. You second.
Who was the first? Dear King was first?
I believe Mr. David was first.
Bob David first? Got it. So Bob David moved and Dear King second. Any board member discussion on these? Okay, let's see. Let's see, is there a motion and a second? Yes, we did that. State your name. Got it? Okay. Are there any in-person public comments on this motion? Seeing none. Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. We've opened up the public comment section. If you'd like to make a comment, you can raise your hand by clicking on the hand icon. We do have a request from Leslie Canham. Leslie, I'm going to send you a request to unmute. You'll have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning.
Yes, my name is Leslie Canham. I'm a certified and registered dental assistant. I'm also a provider of the board-required infection control course for license renewal, as well as the 8-hour infection control course for unlicensed dental assistants. On the agenda item number 6, page 5 of the report that you're speaking of, on the dental unit water line changes to the minimum standards for infection control in the draft regulations, it says dental unit water lines shall be monitored or tested routinely in accordance with manufacturer's instructions. And that is not giving very clear information onto what manufacturer's instructions. I would like to add in that it should be clarified by stating that it's the manufacturer's instructions of the dental unit specifically, or of the dental unit waterline product that's used to monitor dental unit water quality. But my preference would be that it would be the dental unit manufacturer's instructions for monitoring dental unit water quality.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any further requests for public comment from those on WebEx? I do not see any further requests. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We are looking to see it process. We have a motion before us. Won't we repeat the motion to adopt the meetings minutes?
Yes, Secretary Ladin, It's to approve the August 14 minutes. I'll call the roll. Chan,
Chan, I.
and I, Cheng.
Chang, I.
I, David.
David, I.
David, I, Deerking.
Dear King, I.
Deerking, I, Felsenfeld.
Felsenfeld, aye.
So I, Forge.
Forge, aye.
Forge, I, Grewal.
Grewal, I.
Grewal, I, Larin, I. Medina.
Medina, I.
Medina, I, Olage.
Olagi, I.
Olage, I, Thakur.
Thakur,
Thakur.
aye.
Thakur, I, Vander Holby.
Whether Hubley abstain?
Abstain. You.
UI.
You, I, motion passes.
Thank you. Let's see. Well, we're going to move on to, are there any board member discussions on the October 3rd, 2025 meeting minutes? Is there a motion and a second to approve the October 3rd, 2025 meeting minutes? We're on pages 22, 23. Please state your name and your motion or second. Motion, Felsenfeld,
Felsenfeld, to accept.
need a second?
UI. You second.
You second. All right. And the motion is to accept and approve the October 3rd, 2025 meeting minutes. Are there any in-person public comments on this motion? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the October 3rd minutes, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And calling users may press *3 to raise their hands. Any comments on the October minutes? I do not see any requests to comment. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Board Secretary, please call the roll and record the vote on this motion.
Motion to approve October 3rd minutes. I'll call the roll. Chan.
Chan, I.
And I, Cheng.
Chang, I.
Cheng, I, David.
David, I.
David, I, Deerking.
Dear King, I.
Deerking, I, Felsenfeld.
Felsenfeld, aye.
So I, Forge.
Forge, aye.
Forge, I, Grewal.
Grewal, I.
Grewal, I, Larin, I, Medina.
Medina, I.
Medina, I, Olage.
Olagi, I.
Olage, I, Thakur.
Thakur, aye.
Thakur, I, Vander Holby.
Whether Hubley abstain?
Abstain. You.
UI.
You, I, motion passes.
Thank you. Let's move on to now agenda item 4, Board President Report. We're on page 24 of the meeting minutes. Well, let's open this up. Not yet. Not yet. Thank you. Yeah, right. Well, first of all, we want to open up the Dental Board President's Report by welcoming in our incoming Dental Board of California Executive Officer, Bryce Dougherty. Mr. Dougherty. You've got 2 minutes in the limelight.
I'm used to 2-minute testimony, not a problem. Good morning. It's great seeing all of you again. I want to thank you, Mr. President. I want to thank the board for giving me this august opportunity to serve you and to serve the dental consumers of California. I'm honored by the trust you've bestowed in me in helping you, along with our staff, in accomplishing your goals and objectives. As a point of personal privilege, if I may, I do want to wish my beautiful wife, Natalie, who's here with me today, the happiest of birthdays.
Oh, happy birthday.
I would not be here today without her love and support. And so I'm just honored that she's here with me today. And with all that being said, Mr. President, let's get back to work.
Thank you. Thank you. And welcome aboard. We also want to welcome 2 new board members, Dr. Jazz Grewal and Dr. Ram Bader Hobley. So, Dr. Grewal, want to?
Just Karen Grewal. I just want to tell a little bit about my background. I've been in practice for past 20 years, graduated from UCSF San Francisco, and I'm a clinical professor for past 4 years at UCSF San Francisco as well. Thank you.
Thank you. And Dr.
Well, good morning, everybody. I'm Ram Vader Hobley, a full-time faculty member at UCSF since 2006. I'm an educator, a clinician, and a researcher. I also head the Advanced Education in General Dentistry residency program. I'm a federally funded co-investigator on dental quality metrics and the use of artificial intelligence in dentistry. And I'm really passionate about ensuring that the board's mission of public protection is upheld. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Let's see. The next item is that we've had ongoing weekly briefings with the interim executive officer, Christy Bell, and the executive committee, myself, and Vice President Dr. Alan Felsenfeld. The executive officer search has been a very interesting journey, very interesting journey. First of all, we want to shout out to DCA HR, Catherine Batchelor, Olivia Trejo, Nicole Lay, Stephanie Louie, and Director Kimberly Kirschmeyer from DCA that helped to guide us in this journey. We've had an ongoing receipt of applications from February through the end of June. We extended our outreach for notice of our recruitment by establishing relationships and outreach with the American Association of Dental Boards. We had a preliminary assessment of 37 to 38 applicants. And then through the interface with DCA Director Kirschmeyer, we were forwarded 6 new candidates. On 8/21, the executive committee conducted preliminary screening for 4 finalists. And on, 9/21, we had additional briefings by DCA on the interview process. On 9/16, I attended an executive officer, Christy Bell, attended all DCA regulatory boards and commissions leadership meetings. Let's see. We had an onboarding meeting with interim executive officer Christy Bell and myself and Dr. Gould. We had an interview in person with DCA headquarters with some of the finalists on 10/3. We had an outreach I had an outreach to the American Association of Dental Boards for additional resources for environmental scans of what's going on in the rest of the country, just to see what kind of issues are before them around the country, and to enhance the reach of our notice for the executive officer. I also outreach to the 7 California dental school deans about the vacancy in the faculty appointment to the dental board. And we have our new board member joining us as a part of that outreach, also as a resource. We haven't talked to each other. Now we're talking to each other with the dental school deans. We had our onboarding with Dr. Ram Vader Hobley. And we're doing this now as a more formalized process for onboarding new members coming onto the board, so that we can give them the lay of the land and how we got there and where we are now. We had strategic planning on how to prep for strategic planning by DCA. So we have a shout out to Tricia St. Clair and Sarah Irani from Solid on how to plan for the strategic planning. On 11/3, we had additional strategic planning to prep for the executive officer. We conducted our strategic planning on 11/5, which was yesterday, which was an interesting session. And then just moving ahead, we are in the dental board meeting in the fall for today and tomorrow. On Saturday, we are attending the Dental Hygiene Board to testify with interim executive officer Bell at the Dental Hygiene Board. We have on December 9th an all leadership meeting with DCA And on 12/17, there is a joint health boards convocation, and we believe the subject matter is going to be on controlled substances. I will be attending and Dr. Felsenfeld will be attending on that. So now, here's Leadership 101. Leadership 101 says, he that holds the mic or she that holds the mic has the power. So I'm going to share a short story. Shortly after I was elected as president by my peers on this table, I was at a trade show. I was approached by a vendor. Do you want to help your people? Yeah, I smiled. I responded, to help my people, I swore an oath of office to accept the governor's appointment to the Dental Board of California. My people are the people of California. Yet in this journey, I came to understand much, much more. From this journey, I understood more. My people are the dentist and dental assistants of California who deliver the care to the people of California. They do it one smile at a time. My people are the subject matter experts, the permit evaluators, the consultants to the board, and the board experts, and the 7 dental assistant council members who serve the people of California. My people are the 85 men and women at the Evergreen Dental Board headquarters and desk around the state of California. They are the heart and the muscle of the dental board. They move this mighty agency. My people are the managers of the dental board, Wilbur and Brent, Todd, Tina, Albert, Jody, Paige, Albert, Ryan, Joe, Ashley, Marilla, and much, much more. They showcase the work of their teams at each quarterly meeting. My people on this journey have been my GPS course guide, Tara Welch, my navigator and concierge on this journey, Executive Officer Christy Bell, and my co-pilot, Vice President Alan Felsenfeld. My people are the men and women to the right of me and to the left of me. We each took the same oath of office. These board members are the conscience of the dental board. These are my people. In my culture, the dragon is a noble creature. The dragons guard the heavens. To my people, I applaud you. You let me fly with dragons. Thank you. Okay, is there any board discussion? Seeing none, are there any in-person comments on this agenda item? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the board president's report, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. If you're on a mobile device, you may need to click on the 3-dot other options to find that hand icon. Each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Thank you. Are any comments on the report? I do not see any requests. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you. We're going to move on to agenda item 5, interim executive officer report. We're on page 25 of the meeting materials. I'm going to ask Christy Bell, Interim Executive Officer, to present this agenda item.
Thank you, Dr. Chan. Christy Bell, Interim Executive Officer. On September 18th, the board held a stakeholder meeting to gather feedback on the legislative proposal that was introduced at the August 14th Dental Assisting Council meeting. The stakeholder meeting had over 150 attendees and was discussed earlier at the Dental Assisting Council meeting. We look forward to collaborating with stakeholders more in the future on dental assisting related items. The dental board met yesterday, November 5th, to develop the board's next strategic plan. The board focused on developing objectives for its 4 goal areas of licensing and examinations, consumer protection and enforcement, communication and customer service, and administrative services. The Department of Consumer Affairs Solid Unit facilitated this meeting and will create the final plan that will be presented to the board at the February board meeting. On October 21st, the board hosted its 3rd annual University FAQ presentation to provide dental school administrators with the latest licensing information to assist students during graduation season. Over 65 dental schools were invited, with 27 in attendance. Before this outreach effort, application processing times were during graduation season averaged 6 to 8 weeks. For the 24-25 graduation season, the licensing and examination unit reduced its processing times to under 30 days. Key presentation topics included early application for the law and ethics exam, proper completion of the dean's certification, and a checklist to ensure applicants submit correct documentation. To further streamline operations, the licensing and examination unit is piloting a paperless project aimed at reducing processing times, improving document security and tracking, supporting remote work, and lowering the board's carbon footprint. On December 10th, the board will host an on-site inspection and evaluation calibration course presented by Dr. Felsenfeld. This event is open only to licensed moderate sedation, general anesthesia, and moderate general anesthesia permit holders interested in serving as board subject matter expert evaluators. Attendees who meet board criteria may be selected to evaluate permit holders during sedation procedures, inspect facilities and equipment, review medical and physical records, and assess emergency preparedness. These initiatives reflect the board's continued commitment to consumer protection through outreach, process improvement, and expert evaluation. In October, I met with the author and sponsor of AB 966, which is regarding foreign dental schools. After this meeting, I provided 6 links to prior sunset reports and agenda items where this subject had been discussed by the board for their reference. And lastly, the board is in various stages of recruitment for 6 vacant positions. The board currently has an 8% vacancy rate. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Are there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Oh, board comments, I'm sorry. Any board comments on this item? Seeing none. Are there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Good morning, still.
Good morning, Sherry Becker, representing the Alliance, the California Extended Functions Association, California Association of Dental Assisting Teachers, and California Dental Assistants Association. On behalf of the Alliance, we thank you, Christy, for your service, and also Dr. Chan for your service as well, as we are part of your people. And thank you also for the service that you've done, the transparency, and as well for that stakeholder meeting September 18th. And we look forward to future collaboration. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other in-person public comments? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the interim executive officer's report, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. Each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Are there any comments on the report? I do not see any requests for comment, so I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you. Let's move on to agenda item number 6, report on Department of Consumer Affairs DCA activities, which may include updates on DCA's administrative services, human resources, enforcement, information technology, communications and outreach, as well as legislative, regulatory, and policy matters. We're on page 26 of the meeting materials. I will ask Lucy Saldivar. Thank you. DCA Board and Bureau Relations Deputy Director to provide this report. Welcome.
Hello. Thank you so much for that warm welcome. Good morning, board members. My name is Lucy Saldivar of the Department of Consumer Affairs, and I appreciate the opportunity to provide some updates from the department. Firstly, I would like to introduce myself as one of the newest members of the department's executive team. I was recently appointed by Governor Newsom to serve as the Deputy Director of Board and Bureau Relations. Prior to this appointment, I worked in the state legislature, most recently serving as Chief of Staff for Assemblymember Lisa Calderon. I also held multiple roles in the office of Assemblymember Jackie Irwin from 2017 to 2021. I am an alumna of the Hope Leadership Institute program and a member of the California Latino Capital Association Foundation, and it is a pleasure to meet you all today. We are also happy to welcome Shelley Jones to the department's executive team. Shelley was appointed by Governor Newsom as the Assistant Deputy Director of Board and Bureau Relations. She brings 29 years of experience and has been with DCA since 2015, serving in several capacities with DCA's Board and Bureau Relations team and the Strategic Organizational Leadership and Individual Development and Organizational Improvement offices. That's a mouthful. Prior to joining DCA, she served in multiple roles at the Juvenile Parole Board of the California Department of Corrections. And we are very excited to be serving as your new Board and Bureau Relations team. I know Shelley looks forward to meeting all of you in the near future as well. Next, I would like to provide an update about sexual harassment prevention training. As you may remember, sexual harassment prevention training is mandated for completion within 30 days of your appointment to the board and every 2 years thereafter. On October 27th, DCA launched its new sexual harassment prevention training in the Learning Management System, also known as LMS. If you have completed the 2024-2025 sexual harassment prevention training during those calendar years, the new training will automatically be assigned to your LMS account 2 months before your 2-year mark. If you have not yet completed your sexual harassment prevention training, the new version has already been assigned to your LMS account. And so please log in and begin the training. Going forward, the compliance deadline will either be 2 years from the last completion date for those that took the training, or by December 27th for those who have not taken the training yet. Upon completion, the new sexual harassment prevention training, completion of the new training, it will be automatically reassigned to your LMS account biannually. And if you have any questions or need assistance accessing the training or LMS, please reach out to us at memberrelations@dca.ca.gov. Additionally, DCA's training unit has developed an unconscious bias training for board members. This training will be added to members' LMS accounts in November, and it will also be incorporated in all new onboarding for new members. You can find your training records under the transcript section in your LMS account. But again, if you need any assistance, please don't hesitate to reach out. Last year, through the Our Promise California State Employees Charitable Campaign, state employees, including board members, have the opportunity to support the nonprofit causes that they are passionate about through payroll giving or one-time donations. Those contributions have a positive impact in our communities, and it is another way to show that DCA cares for Californians. The campaign runs through December 31st of this year, and DCA will be emailing board members this month with more information. But in the meantime, please contact Board and Bureau Relations with any questions or if you would like more information on how you can give. Lastly, I want to take a moment to also join in welcoming board member Vander Hobley and board member Graywall to the board. Thank you so much for your service. Thank you for the opportunity to join you today. Please let me know if you have any questions or if I could be of any assistance.
Thank you. Thank you. There's no action necessary at this time, but is there any board member discussion? Seeing none, is there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the DCA update, you're welcome to raise your hand by clicking on the hand icon. That hand icon will be at the bottom row of your WebEx screen if you've logged in on a computer. And if you're on a mobile device, that hand might be behind the 3-dot other options screen. Any comments on the DCA report? I do not see any requests for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
Mr. President, just one comment. Just congratulations to Ms. Saldivar on her appointment.
So noted. Absolutely.
Second,
Thank you.
from my assembly member's office, Lisa Calderon, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, let's go on to agenda item number 7, budget report. We're on pages 27 through 32. Going to ask Mr. Wilbert Ramboa, Administrative Services Unit Manager, to present this agenda item. Good morning, Wilbert.
Good morning, board members. Again, Wilbert Rambawa, Administrative Services Unit Manager. I'll be presenting the budget report for today. To wrap up fiscal year 24-25, I'm going to share that the board spent the board spent $19.8 million. The board spent 18.6, but the budget was 19.8. So the board reverted $1.5 million. For the revenues, the board collected, $21.2 million in revenues. For fiscal year 25-26, I want to report that the board's new budget is $20.3 million, and our projected revenue is $19.7 million. In regards to some of the budget letters that went through, the board did lose 2 positions based on the budget letter. So the board is now down to 82 authorized positions, and the board did lose $147,000 in expenditures based on the budget letter. That's what the 432 net expenditures is. The board has approximately 12.9 months in reserve, meaning if the board receives no additional revenue for the upcoming years, we would be able to survive for at least 13 months if there's no revenue to come in. That is my report on the budget. There's no action items on this agenda, and I'm open to any questions that anyone might have.
Thank you. Board member discussions, go ahead.
Felsenfeld, Mr. Rambo, just for the sake of the new people, what's a benchmark for our reserves, months in reserve?
So a good months in reserves is typically 3 to 9 months.
And we're at 12 now.
Well, technically 12.9. So, and the board does revert every year. Obviously, the reversion has gone down due to vacancies being filled. But you know, we're well within our allotted budget.
Terrific.
Question.
Go ahead.
Robert David. I'm assuming all the DCA boards had to take a budget haircut.
Correct.
Okay.
So based on the budget letter, each program received an amount. And the amount that we received for the dental board was initially 4 positions and $285,000. but we reduced it after discussing with the department to 2 positions.
Okay, thank you.
Any other board comments? All right, seeing none, is there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. If anyone would like to make a comment on the budget report, you may look for the hand icon at the bottom of your screen or behind the 3-dot other options. And each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Any comments on the budget report? I do not see any requests for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your work. Let's move on now to item number 8, Dental Assisting Council Meeting Report. We're on page 33 of the meeting materials. I will ask Ms. Deandra Epps Robinson, Chair of the Dental Assisting Council. Welcome back.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Deandra Epps Robbins. I'm going to do our Dental Assisting Counseling Chair Report. The Dental Assisting Council on the Dental Board of California met on Thursday, November 6, 2025. After the meeting was called to order and established a quorum, public comment was taken. The August meeting minutes were approved. The interim executive officer report on items including the strategic planning process and updates were provided by board staff and dental assisting examination, licensing, and programs and course approvals. 2 working groups were formed. One will review the statutes and regulations of the RDA duties for clarity, and the other will review the RDA EF statutes. A brief update on the dental assisting regulations working groups, activities regarding board approval, and dental assisting educational programs and courses were provided. After consideration of the stakeholders' comments, board staff decided to postpone continuing discussion of the legislative process at this time. Finally, the council voted on a new chair and vice chair for the Dental Assisting Council. The new vice chair will be Jerry Fowler, and I will now take place of vice chair as myself, Deandra Epps Robbins. So that will, then the meeting was adjourned.
Thank you for your work.
Thank you.
There's no action item at this time. Is there any board member discussion? Seeing none. Is there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none. Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. If anyone would like to make a comment on the Dental Assisting Council meeting report, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. Each speaker will have 2 minutes, and we ask people to speak only once per agenda item. Are there any comments on the report? I do not see any requests for comments, so I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you, and thank you for your work. Thank you, your councils, for their work. Okay, let's move on to agenda item 9, update from the board's ADEX committee. And we have Dr. Lilia Laren. Now, ADEX is the American Board of Dental Examiners. She is our representative from the board to that organization. Dr. Laren.
Thank you, Dr. Shan. Yes, I have a report ready. And just for background information for the new board members and the public members, they may not know what ADEX is, but I just wanted an explanation. ADEX is responsible for creating and maintaining the content and standards of the National Licensure Exam for dentists and dental hygienists. ADEX collaborates with state dental boards, educators, and examiners to ensure that the exam reflects current professional standards and competencies. The ADEX board is composed of 1 appointed board member and 1 hygienist from every state board. The term is appointed for 3 years. Now, CDCA Reb CITA is another organization, and this organization is composed of the testing agencies. These are the people that actually deliver the exam to the candidates. ADEX is the one that makes the exam, that writes the exam. So CDCA REBCITA is composed of 3 national testing agencies that tested before independently. And just about 2 years ago, they merged together. So it's basically one national exam. So people can transport from one state to another more easily now. So it's much more effective. The 3 organizations merged in 2021 and 2022 to create a single national body responsible for administrating dental and dental hygiene licensure exams nationwide. So before they had their own independent annual meetings, and of last month, CDCA, REBCITA, and ADEX met in Dallas, Texas. In Dallas, there was an official merger of both these organizations. Now it's a ADEX and CDCA REBCITA. So we don't have all those different components. It's only one organization. So now there's no 2 national meetings. So it's much more effective also. Now they're a single organization and they are operating under the name of American Board of Dental Examiners. The merger combines the exam development and exam delivery under one entity, streamlining processes, improving consistency and reliability, and strengthening collaborations within state dental boards. The unified organization now serves 98% of dental and 85% of dental hygiene licensure candidates in the U.S., with international exams locations in Canada, Mexico, Jamaica, and Saudi Arabia. It continues to uphold high standards in licensure, including the mannequin-based competent exam, which enhances patient safety, ensures reliable testing, and supports professional mobility and public trust. Okay, so now we'll go into the statistics. At the annual meeting, they present, the statistics for every year. So, and they also mention how many schools. We know that, I'll tell you that 13,077 national candidates for dentistry were tested this last year. Dental school growth, there's 50 new schools or expansions expected to open or gain accreditation, representing over 720 new dental students nationwide. Now, the passing rates by exam in sections, I don't think we've heard this one before, but the class of 2025, and just let me tell you that this is after several attempts of testing. So they have like 3 attempts. After all attempts of testing, the 5 parts in the dental exam, these are the results. The OSCE exam, which is a computerized clinical exam, that they do that in conjunction with the hands-on part, 99.45% passed. Endodontics, 77.07. Prosthodontics, 87.89. Periodontics, 99.21. Anterior restorations, which are fillings in the front, it's 93.79, and posterior restorative fillings in the back teeth, it's 88.93. So we looked at that yesterday a little bit about the percentages. We're going to see if we can work on that. In 2025, the final passing percentages after all the attempts, the 3-4 attempts, the class of 2025 was 95.4. And the non-class of 2025, that means the non-class is another category, not the candidates that went to school and finishing and taking the exam. These are the people that want to transfer from one state to another, that ADEX wasn't available, and now they want to go to another state. They have to take this exam again. It's probably students that are in the 3rd grade, because a lot of these candidates take the exam during their 3rd year, so they may not have learned all their, whatever they have to do for the exam. And also could be international students, we don't know. But I don't know, but hopefully next time we'll tell you. The non-class of 2025 is 79.7. Yeah, okay. let's see, now candidates remaining that were unsuccessful after all the attempts in 2024, the class of 2024 for the fourth year students, the ones that graduated from a regular dental school here in the United States is, well, not necessarily. No, this is for everybody. 2024, the candidates that took the exam of all the 5 sections was 98.8% passed. There were 82 remaining that were unsuccessful of all the candidates of 2024. The non-current graduates, which are all the other students that I told you about that are not from the fourth year of dental school that came, like I explained earlier, 77.1 passed and 88 also remained unsuccessful. So this is where the clinical exam comes into play, I believe. You know, this is a way that the people that are unsuccessful are not able to practice in our communities until they pass the exam. If they don't have a clinical exam, we're not going to be able to know. A lot of these candidates, the 88 that did not pass, are from schools from the US. We need to look at that too. And let's see, the final thing here, there was a survey of respondents to see if they thought it was necessary to have a hands-on skill to perform procedures as dentists, to have a hands-on skill exam. And 82% of respondents said yes. Thank you for allowing me to present the report.
Thank you.
Follow-up question, Mr. President?
Go ahead.
John Deerking, Dr. Loreen, you mentioned that there were around 13,000 test takers. Now, does that include DMD, DDS graduates, or does that also include the RDA dental assistant population?
No, ADEX is only, I was only reporting on the dental,
Oh, okay,
not
thank you.
dental hygiene and not dental assistants, which I've never seen any exams for dental assistant, but
Okay,
there
thank
could be,
you.
yes.
Any other board comments? Just as a comment, this is the inaugural year of having one of our board members on that board and tackling that universe. Thank you. Thank you, Dr.
And I do want to say that with your leadership and past leadership, we were able to change to participate, and we signed up to be part of ADEX because California was not part of ADEX for never. They were never part of ADEX. And that was very important. We're a very important state, and we were not there on the table helping develop this exam. So this is very important. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a follow-up question. Now, is the
Identify
board?
yourself.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Identify yourself.
Ram Vader Hobley, educator representative. Dr. Chan, so in your role as a president, have you done any outreach with this data to the existing 7 dental schools in California?
We've had invitees from ADEX give presentations, ongoing presentations of their census and some of their data in there. But it's from ADEX itself and then the other subsidiary agencies before they merge together. This is the first year that we've actually had one of our people on that board. So, and realize California's population or pool of licensees is pretty big.
Yeah.
Right.
And we now have a full membership with ADEX, and we can vote. We can be part of that. So I'm really excited about that.
Thank you.
Any other board comment? Seeing none, let's go on to, is there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines of public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the update from the ADEX committee, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And if you are on a mobile device, you may need to click the 3-dot other options to get to that hand icon. Each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Any comments on the ADEX report? I do not see any requests for comment. I'll turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Dr. Chan, but I think one comment.
Yes, go
To
ahead.
be fully represented on ADIX, we still need one hygienist. So I don't know who does that or who selects that, but we need to please look into that.
It sounds like it's another board. Well, thank you, Dr. Leonard, for your work. This is a big universe to digest. Thank you for your work. All right, let's move on to agenda item 10A, update on dental licensure and permit statistics. Statistics were on page 35 to 46 of the meeting materials. Going to ask Jody Ortiz, Chief of Licensing and Examination Division, to present this agenda item. Welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Can you hear
Thank
me?
you for your work yesterday.
Oh, thank you. It was fun. So yes, thank you, Dr. Chan, and welcome new board members.
Thank you.
My name is Jody Ortiz, and I am the Chief of Licensing and Examination. I will be presenting Agenda 10A, which begins on page 35 of your meeting materials. This memo provides an overview of applicant statistics, law and ethics examination statistics, and licensing and permit statistics for the Dental Licensing and Examination Division. Our last occupational analysis was completed in 2024, and our target date for the next occupational analysis will be in 2029. Beginning on page 44 of your meeting materials, the table provides statistics on current and active dental licenses by county and on the population per dental license from fiscal year 2023 through 2024 through October 7th, 2025. Yuba County still has the highest population per dentist, and both Sierra and Alpine counties continue to have the lowest population per dentist. There is one correction, though, I would like to make note of on page 2. The header where it says dental applications issued by year should say licenses. So my apologies there, and a typo. This concludes the agenda item, and there is no action being requested.
Are there any board member discussions?
Robert David. I noticed in the last 3 fiscal years, the number of ADEX applicants has increased, fairly significantly. Do you have a reason for that?
Yes, because we are reducing, REB has since joined with ADEX, so those numbers are going down with regards to offering that application. And portfolio has been repealed. So you will see that shift of those going down and ADEX going up. So if you look at the table, it'll show that.
Thank you.
Any other board comments? Seeing none, are there any in-person public comments on agenda item 10A? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on agenda item 10A, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Are there any comments on agenda item 10A? I do not see any requests for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you. And thank you for your work. Thank your team
You're
for your
welcome.
work.
Thank you.
We're going to now move on to agenda item 10B, presentation from the Department of Healthcare Access and Information, HCI, page 47 through 48 of the meeting materials. I'm going to ask the representative from HCI. Is he online?
Hi there. Can you guys hear me okay?
Okay, and that's Eric Newhauser?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, please proceed. Welcome.
Okay. Good afternoon. My name is Eric Newhauser. I'm the Research and Evaluation Branch Chief here at Department of Healthcare Access and Information. I'm in workforce development, and I'm joined by a couple of my colleagues. I've got Chipo Maringa, sorry, Chipo, and Elise Ram, who is one of our lead workforce analysts, and Chipo's running the section here for us. So if you don't mind advancing to the next, to our slide deck. Yeah, that's super helpful. So thank you for inviting us here today. Really excited to kind of come in front of your board and kind of show a little bit of the demographic makeup and trends that we're seeing in the oral health workforce. We can go to the next slide here. So just kind of an overview of what we're going to be presenting to you today. I want to talk to you about our research data center, which is kind of our data collection, our data lake that we store a lot of this workforce data, really who we are and why we're collecting the data. Then Chiba is going to go through some of the statewide demographics of the oral health practitioners. And then we're going to go through some key initiatives and next steps that we're working on here at HCI that I think your board would be very interested in the work that we're coming out with soon. Next slide. Sorry, one more. I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview on RDC right now. We call it RDC for short because we're the state and we love our acronym. So I'll be referring to it as RDC going forward. So we were established by Assembly Bill 130 or AB 133 in 2021, which created the Research Data Center within the Office of Health Workforce Development. And really the whole goal of the RDC was really to serve as that central source of healthcare workforce and education data in the state. And we've moved a little bit beyond this, and now we want to be an exemplar to other states so that other states can kind of look at what we're doing for our workforce by putting data out there, putting visualizations out there, and really making our methodologies behind what we do very transparent. So what AB 133 did was it modified Health and Safety Code section 128051, which really requires us to begin collecting information to start reporting on the current supply of the workforce, the geographical distribution, the diversity of the workforce, looking at current and forecasted demand for healthcare workers, and really looking at the capacity of these educational programs to really start looking at the pipeline and kind of seeing what the workforce is starting to look. Next slide, please. So what are our data sources that we're using for this? As all of you know, when you renew your license, there's a whole bunch of questions at the end of your license renewal process to ask, retirement estimates, what languages you speak. It collects a lot of that demographic data. We're getting activity hours, whether you're spending time in direct patient care, research, or other. What kind of administrative time are you using? What are your practice settings and location information? And what if you have a primary area of practice, what that is. And it really starts allowing us to dig into the workforce and start kind of answering some of those questions of like, where is, what is needed? Is it representative of the population that you're serving? One of our missions here at HCI is really to have our workforce reflect what the population they're serving is. Speaking the same languages, having the same lived experience. So understanding these demographics really kind of allows us to kind of move towards our mission. I'll pass it over to Chipo, I think, at this point. We can go to the next slide, and Chipo's going to go through some kind of our findings as well as Elise.
Thank you so much, Eric. Can we please go to the next slide? Thank you. So beyond the general workforce data, the license renewal survey that Eric just talked about, it captures key demographic and practice details, including race, ethnicity, language spoken, sex at birth, gender, disability status, and practice location. We're going to talk about some of that data in this presentation. So this information allows us to, again, better understand who make up our health workforce and where they're practicing. And the response rate has been really outstanding at nearly 93% for oral health licenses completing those demographic fields. And as of November 2024, California has recorded over 80,000 active oral health licenses, and the Greater Bay Area leads with 23% of the total, and Los Angeles County follows closely behind at around 20% of the licenses. And when we combine the two, Los Angeles and the Greater Bay Area, those two regions account for nearly half of all the oral health licenses in the state at 43%. And on the other end of the range, the Northern and Sierra regions have the lowest number with just 4% of active licenses. And the data collected from this survey feeds directly into the annual report to the legislator as required by the Health and Safety Code section 1280052 that Eric just mentioned. And we're working to update these numbers, and the 2025 refresh will be available in a couple of months in early Q1 of 2026. Next slide, please. To gain a more meaningful perspective, we combined this data with population information for each region to allow us to evaluate the distribution of active licenses relative to the share of the state population in each area. And what we found is that the Sacramento area stands out as having the highest distribution of active licenses relative to its population, at around 1.27, and this is a ratio. In the map shown, a value of 1 means that the region has an equal share of licenses and population. For example, 10% of licenses and 10% of population. And a value below 1 means a smaller share of licenses than population. And that above 1, such as the Sacramento area, means a larger share of licenses than population on the other hand. And what we also see is that even though in the previous slide we saw that Los Angeles has a greater proportion of the licenses, but when we look at it this way, we find that Los Angeles County has the lowest distribution when we compare the number of licenses to the region's share of the state population, and then other regions are kind of just clustered in the middle between the Sacramento area and Los Angeles. Next slide, please. Thank you. And now let's take a look at the gender demographics of oral health licenses again in 2024 based on the data collected from the license renewal surveys. One of the key pieces of demographic information we gather is how providers identify their gender. The majority identify either as male or female, while other categories such as transgender or those that decline to state, we also capture those, but their numbers are so small that in this chart in front of us, they are not reflected since they are very, very small. And overall, there is a higher proportion of oral health licensees who identify as male compared to female and other genders. And this pattern is largely driven by the dentist role, where males make up the majority at over 56%. However, when we shift our focus to other oral health license types, the trend reverses quite dramatically in this role, such as, for example, dental hygienists, registered dental assistants, and orthodontic assistants. Females dominate in those areas, representing 85% or more of the workforce. For example, among registered dental hygienists, nearly 94% of the licensees identify as female. Next slide, please. Now let's turn our focus to the racial and ethnic composition of the oral health workforce, again in 2024. Racial and ethnic representation in healthcare is a critical factor in improving healthcare and is essential for fostering equity in care delivery. One of the findings, actually an exciting finding, is that oral health stands out among all health workforce groups for having the highest representation of Hispanic licensees in California. And we are comparing oral health with other health workforce groups such as advanced practice nursing, allied health, behavioral medicine, and nursing. We find that nearly a third of the oral health workforce identify as Hispanic at about 29%. However, you find that even with that strong representation, it's important to note that Hispanic licensees are still underrepresented when we compare their proportion in the workforce to the proportion of the Hispanic population in the state. When you look at that chart in front of us, the blue represents the proportion of the oral health workforce, for a particular race ethnicity, while that small vertical line to the right indicates the proportion of the state population for that same race ethnicity. However, on the other hand, the oral health workforce has the lowest proportion for Black licensees compared to those other health workforce groups that I just mentioned earlier. It just a little less than 2%, and actually that is also well below the proportion of the Black population in California, showing kind of an area where representation may need to improve. And also when we look at the racial and ethnic groups, we see that white licensees make up the largest proportion at 37%, followed by Asian licensees at more than 26%. Also, these groups, along with other races, are generally more proportionally represented in the oral health workforce. Next slide, please. And now shifting our focus to the distribution of languages spoken among oral health licensees in California. Also data from 2024. In general, over 43% of California health workforce speaks different language other than English, well enough to provide care, representing more than 50 different languages across 47 key licensed health professions, because the ability to communicate in the same language as a healthcare provider is a cornerstone of an effective and compassionate healthcare system. Oral health professionals stand out as the most linguistically diverse health workforce group among workforce groups in California that I mentioned earlier, and has the highest percentage of Spanish-speaking licensees, close to 23%, or 1 in 5 licensees speak the language. However, despite that strength, Spanish-speaking providers remain underrepresented when compared to the proportion of Spanish speakers in the state population. And similarly, we also find that English-speaking licensees are also underrepresented relative to the state population. However, on the other hand, languages in the Asian and Pacific Islander group and other Indo-European languages are proportionally represented in the oral health workforce. And this time I will turn it over to Elise to kind of conclude by discussing some of the exciting projects that HCI is kind of working on the pipeline for oral health workforce.
Thank you so much, Chipo. I'll have you move to the next slide, please. Thank you. And we can actually go to the next one. So our biggest plans for oral health this year, coming up next year, are going to be our supply and demand model. We've already created a couple of supply and demand models at HCI for behavioral health and nursing. So we're expanding those to oral health. Overall, we're going to be trying to answer some questions here. So how many of each license type are available within each region? How are the providers distributed geographically? We're going to try and get those breakdowns by the county level as well as at the regional level. What are areas of low dental care supply relative to the population, as well as the overall oral health needs for those populations? What are any access issues that may be occurring for oral health services within the population? Estimated service capacity, where is there potential need for additional people in particular roles? How many new dental professionals enter the workforce annually? We'll be using that to contribute to our model to just predict how many dentists, RDAs, and RDHs will be available in future years. Also help potentially monitor for retirement waves that may or may not be coming, so we can try and keep those on the horizon there. And looking at what will the oral health provider supply and demand and overall gaps look like over the next 5 or more years, just to help plan, help promote potential influxes of grant spending, things like that. And next slide, do we have another one for this one? Yeah. So we'll be developing a comprehensive workforce planning tool to provide role and geography specific analysis for the current and future workforce. And we'll also identify, like I said, gaps to available supply and proactively address shortages and inequities. Overall, I highly recommend, if you're interested in what these dashboards will look like, taking a look at the HCI nursing and behavioral health dashboards just to get an idea of what kind of information those dashboards supply. They give some really interesting information in some areas, and I think for oral health, that's going to be really helpful in the coming years to just get an idea of what the job market is going to look like, what the availability is going to look like, and what need will look like in the future. We're also going to be trying to be as transparent as possible throughout the process. So if anybody has any questions or if you have any advice for our team, we would love to hear that as well in the future. Please feel free to reach out to our workforce data email. I'll have us move to the next slide. Okay, perfect. And then I can end there and open us up for questions about our presentation. And thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you. This work is, first of all, thank you, and thank your agency for their work. This is groundbreaking. We understand more what the universe looks like, and we understand where the trends may lead us. So thank you for your work. Is there any board? Go ahead.
Robert David, board member. This is excellent data and very well presented. I'm curious, though, you've identified a real problem, which is access to dental care in some underserved parts of California. What programs are available that are state-run, either at HCI or elsewhere, that encourage dentists, particularly newer dentists, to practice in underserved communities via financial incentives, loan repayments, scholarships, other things? Thank you.
I know.
Yeah, and I'll take that one. We are kind of the research team, so the program team might have more knowledge than we do when it comes to programs offered. I'm familiar with HCI, but not much outside of HCI. Part of our methodology work that we're working through right now for our oral health model is kind of taking into consideration what exists out there. And we will be doing kind of a very in-depth research on what programs exist, right? Because, understanding where the need is where we can create programs, where we can funnel funding, things like that. I'm sure you've heard about the rural health transformation work that's going on right now. It's a lot of money coming from the federal government to put into rural health. I don't know if there's an oral health component within that bill, but I'm sure HCI will do what we can to kind of make sure that we're targeting funding in those areas. There's a lot of upcoming programs. Really, that's the idea of why we're doing our supply and demand model for oral health, because we really want to start building out programs for that. And I don't know of anything that exists currently to kind of show these kind of things for California. So didn't fully answer your question.
Hey, no, that's helpful. If I might ask that maybe at a future board meeting, we could have a presentation on some of these programs that he alludes to, but that they don't particularly oversee his branch. But I know at HCI, they do have some programs, and there may be some other programs within state government. It would be interesting to see.
So noted, absolutely. Any other board? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Larine, yes, I had a question for Ms. Maringa. I believe that's her name. On the oral health provider racial distribution, we noticed that the Hispanic population was very high. Now, could you tell me if this is overall all professionals? Was it only dentists? Was it dental assistants, hygienists? How was this determined?
That's a great question.
You had a graph.
Yes, that's a great question. Thank you. That is actually all oral health workforce combined, not just the dentist, but all of them combined.
Yes, that definitely looks like it would be. Now, I just want to also mention that we do have an Access to Care Committee on the dental board. It's Dr. Thakur and myself, and we would love to collaborate with you if we could to see what we can do as a dental board within our capacity. So we'll get a hold of you if we can. Thank you. Great presentation.
Please send me an email I'm more than happy to meet, collaborate. We're happy to kind of take the expertise where we can. I will add, if you want to dig more into these numbers on our website, if you go to the workforce tab, there is the dashboard on our website that you can go into the model, look at the license itself, and kind of look at the demographic breakout by license type. We didn't want to give you like a 3-hour presentation, so we kind of looked at the category as a whole. But there's a lot more good stuff there that you can play around with.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Board Member Jaskiran Grewal. And I really like your presentation about, opening more community services for oral health in the underserved areas. Me, myself, so I'm looking at I am from in Merced County, Stanislaus County, so we are already having less access of care. And I think that will be something that, I'll be interested into, or maybe, getting more information on how we can get some oral health access to our underserved communities. Thank you so much for your.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Angie.
Angie Medina, I just want to say thank you for the data, and I appreciate the presentation. Thank you.
Any other board comments? Go ahead.
Can we get a little bit more clarification on the request for presentations on programs? Can we get a little bit more clarification on presentation of programs? You requested future agenda items on presentations.
Right, on programs that encourage dentists to practice in underserved communities. These could be financial incentive programs, loan repayments, scholarship programs, maybe that pay community clinics an additional amount for the Medi-Cal population. That's kind of what I'm interested in.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Any other board comments? Okay, seeing none, let's go on to in-person comments on this agenda item. Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. If anyone would like to make a comment on the presentation, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. Each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning, and we ask people to speak only once per agenda item. We do have a raised hand from Susan McLaren. Susan, I'm going to send you a request to unmute. And Susan, did you get that pop-up? And if you're having problems with your audio, you can pull down the little caret next to the mute and unmute button to choose a headset or the mic speakers on your device. Oh, there you go.
Oh, you hear me now? Okay,
Yes.
great. I'm wondering how HCI can collect data on what I think is a very large contingent or will be based on various factors of unlicensed dental assistants. Thank you. That's my question.
All right. Thank you very much. And are there any other comments on the presentation? I do not see any other raised hands, so I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you. And thank you, HCI, and the members of HCI in this presentation. This has been very groundbreaking and illuminating what our universe looks like. Thank you. We're going to be taking a 1-hour lunch, and let's restart at about 1:30. 1:30. Thank you. Okay, are they on yet? Not yet? They're on? Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay,
I do
and then
not
what
I
about,
do not have video for, no, the 2 remote board members. I do not have video. Oh,
Oh,
there's
there's one.
Takur.
Shakur, waiting for you. Well, it's 11:34, no, 1:34, and we are going to reconvene. Let's start with agenda item 11, elective facial cosmetic surgery, EFCS, permit credentialing committee, October 8th, 2025 meeting report. We're on page 49 to 51. I'll ask Ms. Ortiz to present this agenda item.
Thank you, Dr. Chan. Again, my name is Jody Ortiz, and I am the Chief of Licensing and Examination Division, and I will be presenting agenda item 11A, which begins on page 49 of your meeting materials, reporting on the October 8th, 2025 meeting of the Elective Facial Cosmetic Surgery Permit Credentialing Committee. The EFCS permit was initiated into statute in 2006 and became effective January 1, 2007. Business and Professions Code Section 1638.1 establishes this permit. The committee meets as needed on a quarterly basis to review and discuss applications. Upon a complete review of the application, the committee shall make a recommendation to the board on whether to issue or not issue a permit to the applicant in either Category 1, Category 2, or Category 3, which includes both 1 and 2. To give you a little background for some of your newer board members, the Category 1 consists of procedures of cosmetic contouring of the osteocartilaginous facial structure, which includes but is not limited to rhinoplasty and otoplasty. Category 2 procedures consist of cosmetic soft tissue contouring or rejuvenation, which includes but is not limited to facelifts, lip augmentation, and blepharoplasty. The EFCS permit committee, EFCS permit credentialing committee met on October 8th via teleconference with 5 members present, establishing a quorum. There was no public comments were received. The committee approved the October 23rd, 2024 meeting minutes by unanimous vote. The committee also held elections for officers for chair and vice chair for a 4-year term. Dr. Peter Scheer was elected chair, and Dr. Anil Punjabi was elected vice chair. These changes will take effect January 1, 2026. The committee also reviewed the proposed 2026 meeting dates. And during closed session, members considered 2 EFCS permit applications. However, no report was issued due to a conflict of interest involving one of the applicants. Applicant ON, who currently holds a limited Category 2 permit for only facial neurotoxins and facial fillers, sought issuance of an enhanced permit for Category 3, but was asked to provide additional documentation demonstrating competency. The application was tabled pending receipt of this information, and no board action is requested at this time. Staff is requesting the following action. The board is asking to consider the committee's recommendation on the application of RG DDS for enhanced permit privileges and make one of the following motions. Motion 1, to grant the EFCS permit application of Dr. RG for enhanced permit privileges to perform Category 2 privileges and issue the existing EFCS permit held by Dr. RG as a Category 3 EFC permit. He currently holds an unlimited Category 1, so he's asking for 2, which goes into Category 3. Or move to deny the EFCS permit, motion 2, or motion 3, return the EFC permit application of Dr. RG. The committee has to request and review additional application.
Okay, thank you. Let's, first of all, the motion on the floor and then,
Not to do that.
okay.
She can't, I can.
Okay, we're going to need a motion and a second on this application. Felsenfeld and Medina, second. Okay, we're going to ask for board discussion on this. Go ahead.
Well, if I may,
The motion was to approve.
move to grant, I'll read it just for the record, that we're going to, the motion is to grant the EFCS permit application of RGDDS for enhanced permit privileges to perform Category 2 privileges without limitation.
Correct.
Right? and issue the existing EFCS permit held by RGDS as a Category 3, which combines what he has.
Correct.
Right. The committee has done the vetting on this individual, so we can't really tell that it is or isn't good. If the committee feels that he has fulfilled, I don't know if it's a he even, but if that individual has fulfilled the requirements, then I think this would be a reasonable thing to say yes to.
Yes.
Okay. Any other board comments on this? Seeing none. Let's go on to, is there any in-person public comments on this motion? Seeing none. Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the issue, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. If you're on a mobile device, that hand icon might be behind the three-dot other options, and any calling user would press *3 to raise their hand. Any comments on the item? I do not see any requests for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Secretary, please call the roll and record the vote on the motion.
The motion is as stated by Dr. Felsenfeld. I will now call the roll. Chan?
Chan, aye.
Chan, aye. Cheng?
Chang, I.
Aye. David?
David, aye.
David, aye. Dear King? Dear King?
Not here.
Not here.
Oh, absent? Okay. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, aye.
Aye. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, aye. Grewal?
Grewal, aye.
Aye. Larin, aye. Medina? Medina, aye. Olage?
Olage, aye.
Olage, aye. Thakur?
Thakur, aye.
Thakur, aye. Vander Colby?
Vander Hobley, aye.
You?
You, aye.
You, aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Tara Welch, Board Counsel. I just noticed that this meeting memo for this agenda item covers additional items that wouldn't normally be covered in this memo. So I'm just going to recommend that the board receive public comment on this item generally. We just got public comment on the motion to grant the application for RG, but let's go ahead and get some public comment on the other items covered in this meeting memo. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Understood. Absolutely. Right, let's move on to agenda item 12A, general anesthesia and sedation.
Oh, there's
Go
missing-
back. Oh, do the
Applicant.
public one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Election of the officers.
There was more in it. Talked about election.
Correct.
got it,
There were
got it,
other
got it,
items
got it.
than
Okay,
just
got it,
the,
got it. Okay,
yes.
let's go back then on public comment on the officers of the evaluators for the EFCS. Is that correct?
That is correct. We had an election for chair and vice chair.
Okay, we should split that up. Yeah, yeah.
Right, and we also held some like discussion about
Yes.
recent changes to the EFCS permit itself and the credentialing committee action. So at this time, I'm recommending seeking public comment on agenda item 11.
Okay, any public comment on agenda item 11? Seeing none. Do you say moderator? Do we have any public comment from individuals participating via WebEx? Please
This-
facilitate the lines. Go ahead.
Certainly. Absolutely. Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on agenda item 11, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And our call-in users can press *3 to raise their hands. Each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Are there any comments for agenda item 11? I do not see any requests for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
All right, thank you. Yep.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go now on to agenda item 12A. General anesthesia and sedation permits, inspections and evaluation statistics. We're on page 52 to 61 in the meeting materials. I'm going to ask Jessica Olney, anesthesia unit manager, to present this agenda item.
Thank you, Dr. Chan. Jessica Only, Anesthesia Unit and Customer Service and Support Unit Manager. I'm going to be presenting agenda item 12A, which begins on page 52 of your meeting materials. This provides a statistical overview of the board-administered on-site inspections and evaluations for the general anesthesia, medical general anesthesia, and moderate sedation permits. Also, at the end of the memo is a current count of our evaluator pool. Those are evaluators who go out and conduct these on-site inspections and evaluations. There is no action on this item, but I am available if you have any questions.
Okay, thank you. And thank you for your work. Are there any board discussions, member discussions on this item? Seeing none, is there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none. Is there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
This is the moderator, and we have opened up the public comment. If you'd like to make a comment on item 12A, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And if you're on a mobile device, that icon might be behind the 3-dot other options on your device. Each speaker will speak only once per agenda item. And I do not see any requests for comments, so I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you, Ms. Olney. All right, let's move on to agenda item 13A, enforcement, review of statistics and trends, page 62 to 65. Going to ask Chief Ryan Blonian to present this agenda item. Oh, and Albert, thank you.
I'm on, good. Statistics are there. It's a little bit different format. We tried to make it a little more digestible and not so cold, and hopefully it's of use. In this report, I don't think there's anything that stood out as being unique, new, or alarming.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Christy Bell, Interim Executive Officer. I just wanted to call out the fact Mr. David had requested an analysis of the disciplinary cases. And so we did compile that information for the most recent quarter. It's on page 65 of the meeting materials. And we broke it down by which way they qualified for licensure. So it's in there if you have any questions.
Do we have any other board questions on this material? Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Chief Blonian,
Go ahead.
I'm just looking at the, am I on? Yeah, I'm just looking at the first chart here, right on page 63. The number of complaints received about dentist RDAs or other types of complaints, and I know they exist. It looks like you got 3,700 in 1 year, 4,100 in another year, 4,000 another, and in 1 quarter we have 2,100. Is
Yes.
that going to, is that a higher level in terms of the time of the year, or is that going to come
I
out to be-
believe that those numbers are reflected from media coverage of a certain dentist that alerted some people
Okay.
to comments that a dentist made, and that motivated people to file complaints.
Because that's just 1 quarter of the year. We're gonna
Right.
get, we have to add on the other 2, 3 quarters, right? So, all right.
Right, so
fine.
this year we anticipate having a record number of complaints, and I mean, not all of them are media driven, but there were a lot.
We're hoping that number goes down, but yes, we understand.
Right,
this. Thank you,
yes.
sir.
We have been trending an increase over the last several fiscal years. Yes.
Okay. Any other board comments? Well, thank you for your work, and please thank your crew for their work. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Is there any in-person comments on the agenda item 13A? Seeing none. Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the report, you may look for a hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And their call-in users can press *3 to raise their hands. Are there any comments on the report? I do not see any request for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Let's move on to agenda item 13B, presentation on the enforcement process, page 66. I'm going to ask Mr. Blanian and Albert Law Enforcement Program Manager to present this agenda item.
I'm back with a presentation that we put together about the enforcement program, what exactly the most common steps are. I believe I heard mention of our mission statement yesterday when I was monitoring the meeting that you all had, so this isn't new. I gave a similar presentation to a group down in Glendale and last month, and we discussed these things more in detail, but we have a complaint and compliance unit, and that's when a complaint is received by the board. It goes there where the actual case is opened. If it's a quality of care type thing, they gather records from the subject of the complaint. They have a dental consultant look at that since we're all cops and civilian investigators. It's good to have the opinion of a dentist on what we're seeing. They provide us that opinion, and from there, case can go to a sworn peace officer, it could go to a civilian investigator, it could be an inspection, or it could be closed. So I have here, we have.
One moment, we're waiting for one of the board members to turn their camera back on. Dr. Thakor. Thank
So there
you.
you are. Go ahead, Ryan.
Again, we have the IAU unit in Sacramento and in Orange. They have an inspector, at least one inspector at each office. They do a lot of our probations for licensees who are on probation. The investigation unit, we have one in Sacramento, one in Orange. They do the most serious cases, and as I said, the IAU unit, they're non-sworn. They handle a lot of the level 3 and 4 cases. And then there is a discipline coordination unit who is basically our go-between with the Attorney General's office and the dental board staff. Some of this we discussed, about 4,000 cases a year. The last couple of years has been our number. Those cases can be received online. They can be by email. They could be physically in mail. Once or twice, we've had somebody come in person. So there are many available ways for a person to file a complaint with the dental board. Again, consumers, we have insurance companies filing complaints. We have other dentists who file complaints. And we also work with law enforcement a lot throughout the state in cases involving dentistry. Here's some of the most common: quality of care, substance abuse. I don't have to read these all to you, but I can tell you that the higher priority cases, we try to jump right away. If we have a provider who the complaint is that they're under the influence, we try to get there as reasonably fast as we can and deal with it. Fraud cases, we're working with Department of Insurance, we're working with district attorneys' offices throughout the state. They have a lot more resources to deal with that, computer-wise, software-wise, personnel-wise. So we're trying to do teamwork on those cases. Next slide. CCU, as I said, they collect the records. They get the opinion of a dental consultant. They then forward the case to me for its final destination. Close unsubstantiated or cases that don't have viable leads to move on. Next slide. Inspection. We have an inspector in the Sacramento office who I can speak about quite a bit. He covers from Oregon border to basically the Grapevine. Takes a lot of organization to make the most out of his trips. But he goes out, he has a script he follows to make sure that infection control, hygiene standards, that the practice is the safest and the most clean it can be to protect the consumers. 1611.5 says we can go into dental practice pursuant to a complaint, do an inspection, inspect the books, the premises, the tools used, and that's all part of the inspection process. It takes, Richard, about probably an average of an hour to go through a practice, unless it's a really big one, and do a thorough, proper inspection. The inspection complaints can include one or all of these. He goes out, checks licenses. He goes out and checks that they have the appropriate permits, that they have the appropriate licenses displayed, from something that is, seemingly small to all the way they don't do spore testing. It could be any of those things. A lot of written warnings are issued. We kind of look at that as an opportunity to educate and bring people into compliance. If it's some of the more major things, well, then we take more action. Here's a picture of a dental practice that was found at the inspection. Richard will write them a letter, tell them what the problems are and to clean it up. And this is how it was after. It's not new, it's not modern, but it's a lot cleaner. This is something that I have found a couple times, and Richard has found. You notice those are bags that instruments are put in, and then they're put into an autoclave. They're disposable. However, if you look at the one on the left there, you can see it's been run through the cycle a few times. I've had a dentist tell me that it's a lot cheaper to work this way than to use a new bag every time. So these trays were there ready to go. And you can see again the used bags. I can't remember if it was this officer or another one, but they had the autoclave and it had been broken for several years. He was upset that we made him go buy a new autoclave, but he was totally, after he did his remedial education and everything, he was totally within standard. A lot of times I go to offices and we ask for records. And when I started with the dental board, every office had paper records. And as you can see here, if we need to find a record to look at any part of the treatment, we probably wouldn't find it because it was impossible. Now, most offices are digital and the records are available online, hopefully, or on the computer. But this is something that we have seen more than once. The investigation unit, we are all peace officers. I have just the other day started my 35th year as a police officer. We have an LAPD officer. We have small town police officers down south who are now working for us. We have sheriff's deputies. So we bring a lot of experience in quote unquote the real world doing investigations. It takes some adjustment, some education. I still don't know all the teeth numbers. I know they're numbered. I just don't know what they all are. I had the cheat sheet at my desk when needed. So I'm still working on that. The IAU unit are civilians. We have 4 in Sacramento, and I think we have 4 in Orange. Some of them come to us green. Some of us come to us with prior experience, but I think we've done a good job selecting some good people and getting them trained up. We work hand in hand, the sworn and the civilians. Sometimes we'll have cases on people in the same practice and we try to coordinate. And I think that the IAU unit has come a long way and is really a pretty smooth running unit now. And investigation unit, we have a couple vacancies. Hopefully we'll have those filled here very shortly. Joe and Paul, who are here from our Sacramento office, are the only 2 we have right now here. So they have a lot of cases. We go out, get our cases assigned. The records are there. Hopefully consultant report can be there. So we have a roadmap to roughly follow and go see what we have to collect, what interviews we have to do. The case is criminal. We have kind of developed into working with the local district attorney's offices or the DA's office. So hopefully we can have all of our ducks in a row when we go to serve a search warrant or go to serve an arrest warrant. And, hopefully we're not making friends and meeting people after we've done it. So we've learned to coordinate with the locals, and most of the time they are more than willing to jump on board with us and help. And more than once we have uncovered other things with them. So it's worked out really well. Our cases either end up closed, citation, or with the Attorney General's office. I think you'll see more citations for this calendar year. We've started using that a little bit more on our side. Again, a case can be closed. We can request criminal filing, and we can transmit to the Attorney General's office. I'm sure you're all aware of what the outcomes of those cases are since you vote on them every meeting. But on some of them, we're now doing the AG and the criminal simultaneously to hopefully keep things moving along properly. I hope you appreciate the blue line I put on the map. That was me with a Sharpie pen at my desk. That's basically the line of delineation for the North Office and the South Office. The South Office gets more cases. They have a lot of population down there. So it's not uncommon for an investigator to leave Sacramento, be in Fresno, Bakersfield, San Luis Obispo, and then come home over a 3-day period. And the other interesting thing there is you have to work with the district attorneys in every one of those counties, and every one of them has different paperwork, different rules, different courtroom procedures. So it's nuts. So that's why it's nice to make friends with cops in each agency because they know. So recently, I went out in the field to an unlicensed complaint. I don't want to give away my secrets, but I went to the door and told her we were from the dental board and I would like to inspect her dental office. She had a tough shed in the backyard and took me back there and showed me. So she had been a dentist in another country, came here, didn't have a license. And as you can see, this was the condition of the tough shed dental office when we walked in. There were no records. The hygiene standards, there was no autoclave. She just rinsed stuff off. She had some newer equipment there, but it just wasn't what we needed. There's her treatment chair. She at least had an air conditioner, but she had some pretty old equipment there too. This person, she was very cooperative, and we took corrective action with her. And when we went back and served her legal paperwork, the office had been taken apart. This was something I wanted to show because you can see that there is dental medications there. And most of those, she said she brought back from Mexico. And I don't know that their standards for what their medications, their numbing agents, is it the same as what we have? It's probably not FDA approved because it was all in that kind of packaging there. But again, consumers are getting medications and numbing agents that aren't sourced from the US. Is that dangerous? I don't know. It just struck me as something that didn't seem 100% above board. Well, I mean, the whole thing, but this struck me as that. That's why I took the picture. We get calls from time to time from dentists throughout the state who are allegedly contacted by us, it's not us, saying that some story about a car that they had been picked up at the border and that there was drugs and they're in serious problem and that they want to save their license. They have to send X number of dollars to these people. This was an identification card one of the fraudsters sent to one of our dentists, trying to convince them that they were genuine and real. And I mean, this is the length they went to, that they emailed or faxed, I can't remember, this card to somebody claiming to be us. You can see that this one just came in the other day. It's their demand letter that they sent out. Dr. Felsenfeld looks like he signed it. We don't have an officer in charge by that name. I can tell you that about 2 years ago, it was right before a holiday. I'm in the office getting ready to leave. One of the front counter people come to me a little bit frantic. They have a dentist on the phone who just sent several Bitcoin over electronic transfer to the dental board as bail to keep their license. And it was in the neighborhood of $400,000. And I got on the horn with the local police. We were able to stop the transfer at the last second, thank goodness. They told us if we'd been an hour later, it would have been too late. This is the thing that they're doing. And we tried to get involved. One time we were on the phone with the fraudster. He told us where he was, where we could find him. The board didn't want to send me to India to deal with it. I volunteered, but we just kind of run into roadblocks there. So education, we're trying to educate people. We're not going to ask for Walmart gift cards to pay a fine. We're not going to get you on the phone and talk to you for 2 hours. I don't even like to talk on the phone for 2 minutes. So 2 hours is a lot. We're not going to do that. We've hopefully told people to call the dental board, to contact people that they know at the board, and we'll straighten it out. So this one, like I said, it was right before Halloween. Discipline Coordination Unit, just real quick, that's our go-between with the Attorney General's office and us. When we transmit cases for prosecution, they handle it. When they're doing the negotiations and the back and forth, they handle it. When the decisions come in, they handle it. So they sit right in our enforcement area, and a lot of back and forth between the enforcement unit and that unit. Again, I don't think any of these terms are new to most of you involved. Again, stipulated settlement, proposed decision, default decision, all are possible. And that's the end of my part. If you have questions, you want to go with me, or do you want for Albert to go next with probation and ask questions all at once? I leave it up to you.
Let's continue with you.
Okay.
So are there any questions for Mr. Berlani? Go ahead.
Yeah, just a quick question, Robert David. How difficult is it to attract candidates for your unit, both sworn and unsworn? Because I know police departments are having a heck of a time filling positions.
It's a challenge to get people that you want and that are qualified. And I have learned it's to our benefit to be a little bit picky and not just take the first person that we see, because we pay for it in the long run. So we're lucky we have 2 people that we can work with that hopefully will be coming on board in the next couple months in Sacramento. And it is difficult. It is a challenge. And it is easy just to think, oh, let's just fill the position. But I think we have to be disciplined and act in the best interest of the board.
Dr. Graywell.
Just Karen Grewal. Thank you so much. I just have one quick question, and I think I mentioned that point yesterday in the strategic planning as well. Do we have any data on the geographic of complaints that they're coming from rural areas, urban areas, just to keep track that in underserved areas, do the people have information even how to even complain?
So I don't have exact numbers. I can tell you that of the 4,000 complaints that we get every year, most of them come from Southern California, because that's where our population is. The rural complaints in the rural areas, I've seen more unlicensed in the rural areas. It seems to me that people are familiar with, for example, a Spanish speaker from El Salvador. And if they go to that person who says they were a dentist in El Salvador and they can get care, I think it's a little easier to get away with in the rural areas. But
just to make sure that, they have all the outsources and resources for them to know that that they can complain on the board. If there's anything.
yes, we have dealt with that. We have gone to the local PDs and the sheriff's offices to educate and offer our help for anything like that. We will go down there and take it over. We'll babysit it with them. We'll do whatever they need. So, yes.
Thank you.
I have a question as well. Where does it?
Identify yourself.
Hi, Board Member Forge. If a dentist is suspecting fraud or not sure if someone is approaching them regard a fraud case, how do they contact you if they received a letter that looks fraudulent or someone is approaching them with ID and they're not sure if this person is above board or not? How will they contact you to see if this person actually works for the board or investigative team?
We've had dentists just call the front office and ask for that person.
Okay.
And then they're told they don't work here. We don't know what you're talking about. And then the call usually makes its way back to me, and then we deal with it.
Okay.
They've also sent them into us by fax, by email, you notice they copy our phone number on their paperwork and but they don't let them call. They just try to keep them on the phone forever to get that money. So we encourage people to call us and ask for us. If we send you a letter, you can call and talk to us. If You know, you think the person on the phone isn't me, you can call the dental board and they'll tell you if I'm in the office or not, if I'm there or not, or send me the call. I mean,
I think what my question, what my concern is that we may have dentists out there in practice. They don't know exactly who is enforcement, who's not. They get approached by someone, and then there's someone is asking for questions. They may be a suspect, but I want to make sure that they know how to contact you to say, hey, does this person work for enforcement or not? Or is this some scam artist or not? I want to make sure that they have access to you and know exactly where to go in order to check to make sure.
we have put, I think they call it a flash on our website about this before. And we have an office, an orange office here. Anybody can contact us and confirm. I think before you send big money to people, you would want to confirm. Yeah.
John? Mr. President, John Deerking here. Chief, very nice presentation. Hopefully we can get a PDF for easy reference. Thank you for the overview of the process. Are there any occasions where you work with either local law enforcement or referral to the AG's office where they ask for a bit more information?
Yes, I mean, it's not uncommon. It can be anything from an exhibit was two-sided and it didn't get two-sided transmitted to them on up to a new victim came forward and we would like them interviewed. District attorney's offices, personally, I haven't had a lot of follow-up investigation with those cases. And usually with the AG's office, we don't have a lot of follow-up information or follow-up investigations to do. So we try to have a complete package put together and sent off so that they can work on it and we don't have to revisit it.
Thank you for contributing to our mission for the safety of the consumers. Thank you.
Dr. Chan,
Go ahead, Dr. Yu.
No, there's no question from me.
No question.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Ram Vader Hobley, new board member. Thank you very much. I really like the visual part of it. If I'm hearing it correct, so you just have one consultant for entire California?
No, we have 2 full-time dentists that work for the board that are consultants. And then we have several on contract who, anything from a specialist dentist to just a general dentist, who when we need extra eyes on cases because we have too many or we need an orthodontist or an endo or whatever, they're available and they provide their specialty review. So I can't tell you there's 19, but there's several.
Sure. And it takes on an average a year or less than a year to close the case?
That's a tricky question because there's a backlog of cases and a finite number of investigators available. A case can be closed in a week and it can take 2.5 years. It's just, it's kind of fluid and it depends on the seriousness of the case and what kind of witnesses we have and what the fact, I mean, it's all out there.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. You're like the quota inspector for dental school. You just show up and you do your quota visit, right? So that's what we need, inspectors.
Yeah, we show up, we don't give notice, and if they don't allow the inspector in, it opens new problems. So, yeah.
Thank you for the presentation. This presentation shows why we exist, protecting the public.
Yes.
Scam alerts. We have seen where transmitted from presumably us to some of the dental societies, they network out for some of the scam alerts. So is that helpful? Hopefully it's so. The third part is I've used the shorter presentation produced by this unit. I've been invited to speak at 2 state dental organizations and then 2 local jurisdiction dental societies to do this presentation, and 1 hospital medical alumni association to show what we do. It's been a terrific educational tool. It's also being integrated into our more formal onboarding as for our new members to understand what the words mean going through the process. So this has been another good tool for us to use. So thank you for the tool and thank your crew for the work that they do. Thank you. Should I do the public? Dr. Takor, you had a question?
Yes, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. The question I have is, you did point out that there were some unlicensed dentists that were practicing, and you've had to go look at those offices as well. Do we as a board have jurisdiction over non-licensed dentists, and how do we go about changing how or closing their practice essentially?
So that is a criminal act, the unlicensed practice of dentistry. We have cited them into court and arrested and booked them since we're peace officers. We can also cite them under the dental board with an administrative citation and try to get compliance through that method as well.
Thank you.
Do we have any other board member questions? Got it. Okay, let's continue with Mr. Albert's part of the presentation, probation.
All right, good afternoon, President Chan and board members. My name is Albert. I'm the enforcement manager, and I'm here to present an overview of the dental board's probation program. Next.
Albert, speak closer.
Closer to the mic, please.
Next slide, please. So first and foremost, the purpose of the probation program is to protect consumer from unsafe, negligent, or impaired licensees. And it's to provide a clear framework for disciplinary actions and licensees rehabilitations. And it also establishes a monitoring mechanism for compliance of our probationers, and also to maintain consistency in the disciplinary penalties for similar offenses on a statewide basis. Next slide, please. So these are the board's authority to place a licensee's license on probation, specifically BPC, Business and Professions Code Section 1670 states that the board may place a license on probation for unprofessional conduct, incompetence, gross negligence, or repeated act of negligence. Next slide, please. These are the categories of initial administrative actions that may lead to a license being placed on probation. The first one is an accusation, which is a pleading file with the Attorney General's office to seek disciplinary actions against a license that has already been issued. And the second one is a statement of issues, which is a pleading file against an applicant who was denied licensure and is appealing that denial. So typically, an accusation is the result of a licensee either being convicted of a crime that is substantially related to the qualifications, functions, or duties of their license, or an investigation that determined that the licensee violated the Dental Practice Act, such as negligence, incompetence, or unprofessional conduct. Most of the statement of issues file are a result of applicant being convicted of a crime before their application. Next slide, please. So after an accusation or a statement of issue is filed with the Attorney General's office, there's typically two ways for licensees to be placed on probation, with the first being through a stipulated settlement, which is basically a discussion between the Deputy Attorney General and the board's executive officer or assistant executive officer and the respondent to settle a case without an administrative hearing. A stipulated settlement is a faster and less costly process for the board and the respondent to settle a case while still achieving the board's primary objective of consumer protection. When a licensee agrees to settle, it usually means they also admit to the truth of the charges that's in the allegation that is stated in the accusation or statement of issues. If a case does not settle through the settlement process, it proceeds to a administrative hearing, after which an administrative law judge will hear the case and render a proposed decision. Next slide, please. So after a stipulated settlement is signed or a proposed decision is rendered by the judge, the discipline coordination unit will send the case to all board members for review and submission of their votes. For all disciplinary actions to become final, they must be approved by a majority of the board members. Board members are typically given 2 weeks to review the case and submit their vote. And if votes are not submitted by the set deadline, they will not be counted. Next slide, please. So board members have several options to vote on each case. Those are to adopt, which means that you agree to the proposed action as written. There's non-adopt, which means that you disagree with one or more portion of the proposed action and don't want to adopt it as the board's decision. Next, please. You may also hold for discussion if you wish to discuss the case in a closed session. This requires 2 or more board members to hold a case for discussion, and it will be discussed in the next board meeting closed session. Whenever a board member hold a case for discussion, we ask that you also provide staff with a reason for the hold. You may also abstain from voting or recuse yourself if there's any conflict of interest. Next slide, please. So the board has adopted the disciplinary and denial guidelines and uniform standards, which are incorporated by reference in our regulation. It's CCR section 1018. In addition to disciplinary guidelines, it also provides the board with probation terms and conditions to impose, which is what we're focusing on with this presentation. So these guidelines are used by administrative law judge, attorneys, and anyone involved in the settlement of an accusation or statement of issue proceedings. Next slide. Generally, the board staff recommends a minimum of 3 years of probation unless there is a reason for a longer or shorter term. Those are evaluated on a case-by-case basis. The following terms of probation allows the board to provide consumer protection while also establishing a mechanism to monitor the rehabilitation of a probationer. Next slide, please. So here are the 3 categories of probation terms and conditions. Those are standard terms 1 to 15, which applies to all probation cases. Then there are optional terms 16 to 35, which are imposed based on various factors of the case. Lastly, there's our uniform standard terms, which are required to be imposed on any probationers that's deemed as a substance abusing licensee. Next slide, please. So here are the first 15 terms that are applied to all probation cases. I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but these are pretty much standard for all probation cases. Next slide. And these right here are the optional terms and conditions that may apply to specific cases. And some of the most common optional terms added are remedial education, community services, some even psychological evaluation and psychotherapy. Next slide. And this is the rest of the optional terms. And if you have any questions regarding the terms, you can also reference the board's disciplinary guideline for details and the rationale behind each probation terms and conditions. Next slide, please. And finally, we have our uniform standards related to substance abuse licensee. These standards are established to be included in every probationary order for substance abusing licensees. And the following slides is a terms and conditions. Next, please. So these are notification to employers, supervised practice, drug and alcohol testing, abstain from alcohol or any drugs, support meetings such as Alcohol Anonymous meetings, requiring them to complete a clinical diagnostic evaluation or check themselves into a drug or alcohol treatment program, and they're also required to request the board to allow them to return back to practice. So next slide, please. So our probation monitors are responsible for monitoring the progress of the probationers to ensure that they abide by the probation terms and conditions. When probationers violate the probation monitor will issue notices of violations. And if warranted, they will also refer their cases back to the Attorney General's office for further disciplinary actions, which may include revocation of their license. Next slide, please. So there are costs associated with being placed on probation, and these are some of the common costs, with the first one being our monthly monitoring costs, where RDA are required to pay $45 a month and DDS are required to pay $90 a month. Cost recovery varies, and it's dependent on the number of hours spent on the investigation and any associated Attorney General's costs. And submitting biological samples can really range from $80 to $120 per test, and those are for urine, blood, or hair follicle tests. And psychological evaluation, clinical diagnostic evaluation, they can range in the thousands. And same as psychotherapy, where they have to pay if they're ordered to complete psychotherapy on a monthly or weekly basis, then it's about $100 to $200 per session, depending on the clinician. And also remedial education, which can cost anywhere between $1,000 to $2,000 per course. And this is just a small list of the costs. There's, of course, additional costs if additional terms are imposed under probation. So that concludes my overview of the probation programs, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Long. Are there questions from the board?
I have a question,
ahead.
Mr. President. The cost of probation, are they paid directly to the dental board or for monitoring, for example, for biological fluid samples?
It is paid directly to the dental board.
Why is there a difference between the monitoring cost monthly for RDAs and DDSs?
I think because of financial restriction, because RDA typically makes a lot less money than a DDS. So with $90, and also if they're required to submit to biological sample, that may be a financial burden to a lot of RDAs, where they make a lot less money than a DDS.
Whoa, hang on though, that he raises a good
Whoa, whoa,
question.
Head, Bob, hold on.
All right.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I would just like to follow up on that. Is that covered by board policy or by regulation, or both?
I believe that is internal, that was determined by the board.
Okay, based on Mr. David's reaction, I think that may be a topic for future discussion. And so that's all I have on that. My follow-up, another question is, you may not know the answer to this. It may be budget, may be directed to our budget analyst. Cost recovery, do you have any idea what percentage we have as far as either in dollars or a percentage for outstanding liabilities pursuant to cost recovery provisions for licensees on probation?
Yeah, so cost recovery includes the costs that the board expended for investigation. So anytime there's an investigator or a special investigator and that investigate the case, they track the number of hours that they spent on the case, and that is billed as cost recovery, as well as Attorney General's costs. So the Attorney General bills the board the cost to represent us on a case, and per statute, we can also recover cost recovery of those costs as well. And every case is a little bit different. Some cases are, that are complex, can range anywhere to $30,000 cost recovery, and some simple cases can be $3,000, $4,000. So there's a very wide range of cost recovery.
Yes, sir. My question though is, how much is owed to the dental board as far as outstanding liabilities that have not yet been collected?
Christy Bell, Interim Executive Officer. That's information that we can collect and bring to the next board meeting.
Oh, thank you.
Bob, go ahead.
Thanks, Robert David. Just following up on Mr. Durkin. State, we're supposed to collect based on cost of service, right? Not on potential profit margin. So I don't understand why there'd be a delta between dental assistants and dentists if if the costs are the same.
Mhm.
So maybe that's a discussion for another day, and staff can do a cost analysis. Thank you.
Yes.
Christy Bell, Interim Executive Officer. I just wanted to clarify one thing. So the probation monitoring costs and the cost recovery are paid directly to the dental board. However, the drug testing, psychotherapy, all of that are paid to the vendors that they utilize. Okay.
I understand. Thank you.
Any other board questions? My thought, this is excellent. This is excellent. We have not seen this in the time that I've been on the board. It would be another great tool to use for public education and a great tool for our onboarding also to understand what the process is as we go through our disciplinary cases in there. And maybe even to calibrate ourselves from year to year to understand what the words mean. So the executive committee would be working with the executive officer on how to integrate that concept, those concepts in there. But thank you for your work. Really, thank you for your work. Is there any other board comment? Seeing none, is there any public comment? Seeing none, is there any public comment from individuals participating via WebEx? DCMA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. If anyone would like to make a comment on the presentations, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. If you're on a mobile device, the hand icon might be behind the 3-dot other options, and each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Are there any requests to comment on the presentations? I do not see any requests. I will turn the meeting back to you.
Thank you, and thank you for your report, and thank you for your work. Please thank your crews for the work that they do for the board. Let's go on to agenda item 14A, diversion program report and statistics. We're on page 67 of the meeting materials. Paige, welcome.
Long time no see. Good afternoon, members of the board. My name is Paige Regali. I am the Chief of Administration and Compliance at the board. I also serve as a program manager as a board representative for the Diversion Evaluation Committee. So today I'm going to present to you just our overview of the quarterly statistics for the Diversion Evaluation Committee and participants. Our Diversion Evaluation Committee program statistics are reported below for the quarter from July 1st of 2025 to September 30th of 2025. The statistics are presented below as an informational only report. We did have our last DEC meeting on October 1st. Our next quarterly DEC meeting is scheduled for January 7th and is available on our board meeting calendar. I did want to report and kind of give an update. As of January 1 of this year, I believe, we did switch vendors for our diversion evaluation or our recovery program. So we do contract with Premier Health Group. Over the last year, we have been working very closely with them at a department level as well as board and bureau level to kind of make sure we're collaborating and calibrating to get them up to speed on the different the contract requirements and all of the different terms, as well as to not pose any like issues with our participants and what they're going through as far as recovery. So our next meetings are available online. I did want to just mention that we have had a lot of positive feedback with our new vendor. So it has been reported that the participants are happy with the new vendor, and our numbers have been pretty stable for the last couple of fiscal years now. This again is informational only. I'm available for any questions.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Any comments from the board? Seeing none, go ahead.
Just a note, the new vendor for diversion, you may be more familiar with Maximus. That was the old vendor. And then the Department of Consumer Affairs put out an application for diversion vendors to apply to become the new vendor, and Maximus declined to participate in that process, and Premier was chosen. And so I was, kind of hearing updates about this through legal affairs. And I know that the transition from Maximus to Premier was relatively smooth and, with anticipated bumps in the road, but it sounds like things are going really well with the new vendor. So that's great to hear.
Thank you.
Yes, they are. And like I said, we meet with the new vendor regularly. We usually have monthly meetings with them. And then as a department, we also meet with other boards and bureaus who have participants in the recovery program as well, just to make sure that everyone is kind of on the same page and that the transition has continued to be smooth.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Seeing none, is there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the report, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. Each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Are there any comments on the diversion program report and statistics? I do not see any requests for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And Paige, thank you for your work, and please thank the vendor for their work. We do see disciplinary actions that this comes forth over and over and over again. Our object is protecting the public. Thank you. All right, let's see. Let's go on to agenda item 15, election of 2026 board officers. Page 68 to 69. Ms. Bell, show is yours.
Thank you. Christy Bell, Interim Executive Officer. Pursuant to Business and Professions Code Section 1606, the Dental Board of California is required to elect a president, vice president, and secretary from its membership. Pursuant to the Board Administrative Manual, it is the board's policy to elect officers at the final meeting of the calendar year for service during the next calendar year. The newly elected officers shall assume the duties of their respective offices on January 1st of the new year. We will begin with the secretary. Are there any nominations for 2026 board secretary?
Board Member Medina here. Yes, I'd like to nominate John Durkin for secretary.
Do you accept the nomination, Mr. Deerking? Yes. Are there any other nominations?
I'll second that motion.
She's seconding it.
Okay. Are there any other nominations, questions, or comments from board members? Okay. Is there any in-person public comments on the nomination of Mr. Deerking for board secretary? Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the nomination or motion, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And our call-in users can press *3. Are there any comments on the nomination or the motion? I do not see any requests for comment. I'll turn the meeting back to you.
Thank you. I will ask for board staff to call the roll and record the vote to nominate John Deerking as the 2026 board secretary.
This is Morella Turan. I will call the roll. Chan,
Chan, aye.
Chang, David,
David, aye.
Durking,
Durking, abstain.
Felsenfeld,
Felsenfeld, aye.
Forge,
Forge, aye.
Growell,
Grewal, aye.
Loren,
Lorraine, aye.
Medina,
Medina, aye.
Olagi,
Olagi, aye.
Takor,
Takor, aye.
Vader Hobley,
Bud Robley, aye.
you.
UI.
The motion passed.
Thank you. We will now move on to 2026 board vice president. I want to make everyone aware if there are multiple nominations for an officer position, a motion and roll call will be required. This means that a board member will need to make a motion to elect one of the nominees. I currently have three nominees for board vice president. I have Robert David, Alan Felsenfeld, and Rosalinda Olagi. Yes. Mr. David, do you accept the nomination?
No.
Dr. Felsenfeld, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
Ms. Olagi, do you accept the nomination?
Yes.
May I ask for a point of clarification?
Go ahead.
Can we do a secret ballot?
I'm going to say no. Most of all of the board's votes are public. If you feel uncomfortable voting, you can abstain. I don't recommend that because in the past, the board has had trouble getting enough people to vote on the officers. So it's important that the board consider the options and take official action for each member.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, Ram Vader Hobley, I want to nominate Dr. Felsenfeld for the vice president.
Olivia, go ahead.
No. Do we have to, can we nominate somebody else right now or later?
I need to ask for him. Are there any other nominations for board vice president?
I would like to nominate Dr. Rosalinda Olagi.
Okay, so Ms. Olagi was already nominated and she accepted the nomination. So she's already on deck. And also Dr. Felsenfeld. So we have two nominations. Are there any other nominations?
Already on the list. They were already on the list.
Okay, so I did hear a motion by Dr. Vader Hobley to elect Dr. Felsenfeld as vice president. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Is there any other board discussion? Is there any in-person public comments on the nomination of Dr. Felsenfeld to 2026 Board Vice President? Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on this nomination, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And if you are on a mobile device, the hand icon might be behind the three-dot other options. Are there any comments on this nomination? I do not see any requests to comment. I'll turn the meeting back to you.
Thank you. I will ask for board staff to call the roll and record the vote on the nomination of Alan Felsenfeld as the 2026 Board Vice President.
This is Marella Toran. I will now call the roll. Chan,
Chan, aye.
Chang,
Chang, aye.
David,
David, no.
Durking,
Dear King, no.
Felsenfeld,
Felsenfeld, yes.
Forge, Grohl,
Yes.
Loren,
No.
Medina,
Medina, no.
Olagi,
Olagi, no.
Thakor,
Zakor, yes.
Vader Hobley,
Vader Hobley, yes.
you,
You, no.
there's 6 yeses and 7 nos.
The motion fails. Is there another motion to elect?
I'll make a motion to elect Board Member Alage to Vice President.
Is there a second?
Second. Darlene, second.
Is there any board comment? Is there any public comments on the nomination of Rosalinda Olagi to the board vice president? Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on this nomination, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. We do ask that those commenting comment only once per agenda item. Are there any comments on this nomination? I do not see any requests. I will turn the meeting back to you.
Thank you. I will ask for board staff to call the roll and record the vote on the nomination of Rosalinda Olagi as the 2026 board vice president.
This is Marella Taran. I will now call the roll. Chan,
Chan, aye.
Chang,
Chang, aye.
David,
David, aye.
Durking,
Durking, aye.
Felsenfeld,
Felsenfeld, aye.
Forge,
Forge, aye.
Growell, Loren,
Lorraine, aye.
Medina,
Medina, aye.
Olagi,
Olagi, aye.
Takor,
Takor, aye.
Bader Hopley,
Ryder Hobley, aye.
you.
You I.
The motion passed.
Thank you. We will now move on for the nominations of 2026 board president. I've received 2 nominations, one for Dr. Lilia Lorin and one for James Yu. Dr. Lorin, do you accept the nomination?
I do.
Dr. Yu, do you accept the nomination?
Yes, I do.
I would like to make a motion to elect Dr. Loren for 2026 board president.
Other nomination.
Are there any other nominations?
I nominate Dr. Stephen Chan.
Dr. Chan, do you accept the nomination?
I'm going to have to comment. There are 2 entry points. One entry point is self-nominating. I chose not to do that. The other entry point is one of our colleagues to nominate. I've had some conflicting messages from the beginning of 2024 through this last month, whether or not I am eligible for reappointment. And until we went through Director Kirschmeyer and then through the appointment secretary office, did I find that I was eligible. That does not mean confirmation. And where that comes into play is that the appointment secretary's deputy said that any confirmation of any of us that are due for reappointment won't happen until the end of this year. So any of us that are running will not know if we're reappointed. Where the reality check comes into play is what happened on the dental hygiene board. In the dental hygiene board, there was one of their members that was nominated and elected as president, and then found that she was not reappointed. Now, there is a succession plan for that event where the board can re-elect some or elect another individual from the board. But it happens to the following year that that election would take place, because it was after notifying whether or not that person was confirmed or not. I accept the nomination from another board member, but with the caveat, this is a reality check. It could happen.
I have a motion to elect Dr. Are there any other nominations? Okay, there's a motion to elect Dr. Lilia Lorin to the 2026 board president. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any other board comment? Is there any in-person public comments on the nomination of Dr. Lorin to board president? Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the nomination of Dr. Loren, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And if you're on a mobile device, that hand icon might be behind the three-dot other options. Are there any comments on the nomination of Dr. Loren? I do not see any request for comment. I'll turn the meeting back to you.
Thank you. I will ask for board staff to call the roll and record the vote on the nomination of Lilia Loren as the 2026 board president.
This is Marella Taran. I will now call the roll. Chan,
Chan abstain.
Chang,
Chang, aye.
David,
David, aye.
Durking,
Deer King, aye.
Pausenfeld,
Elsfeld abstain.
Forge,
Forge, aye.
Grewal,
Grewal, aye.
Loren,
Aye.
Medina,
Medina, aye.
Olagi,
Olagi, aye.
Takor,
Takor, aye.
Vader Hobley,
Vader Hobley, aye.
you.
You abstain.
The motion passed.
Thank you. I would like to congratulate our new set of officers, Mr. Deer King as secretary, Rosalinda Olagi as vice president, and Dr. Loren as president.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you for your confidence.
Congratulations.
Okay, let's see. Oh, congratulations.
Remove it.
All right, where am I? Okay.
Vice President.
All right. Congratulations to the new officers for 2026. We will now move on to agenda item 16. This concludes today's opening session. Open session is recessed until Friday, November 7th, 2025 at 9 a.m. The board will now convene in closed session. At the close of closed session will be adjourned. Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for this Dental Board of California meeting. My name is Steve Chan, and I am the president of the board. Today is Friday, November 7th, 2025. This board meeting is being held via teleconference with the disclosed in-person location available for board and public member participation. For all those who wish to participate online, please log on to the WebEx website provided on the posted agenda for this meeting. Instructions to connect to the meeting are provided on the agenda. During each call for comments from board members and speakers, we will ensure that all comments that can be accommodated are heard before proceeding with the agenda. This is an official business meeting of the Dental Board of California. The board welcomes public comments on any item on the agenda, and it is the board's intent to ask for public comments prior to the board taking action on any agenda item. Please be mindful of the words and tone you use when sharing your thoughts. We understand that issues discussed here may be deeply personal or frustrating, especially when we find ourselves on opposite sides of an issue. But even in disagreement, we ask that everyone engage respectfully. Let's aim for a dialogue that's constructive rather than contentious. Please remember that every process, discussion, decision undertaken by the board is grounded in our mission to protect the public. That remains at the heart of all we do. The DCA monitor will explain the process for providing public comment shortly. For individuals participating via WebEx, when called upon, the moderator will give the individual permission to unmute themselves, and they will have 2 minutes to make public comment. The moderator will audibly announce when 30 seconds remain to conclude the public comment. After the 2 minutes have lapsed, the individual will be placed back on mute. Only 1 public comment per agenda item is allowed per attendee. We ask that all speakers please stay on topic and not repeat testimony already provided. If you agree with the testimony already provided, please just state your name and that you are in support of any comments previously provided. I would now like to ask the DCA moderator to please explain how public comments will be taken during this meeting.
Good morning. This is the moderator. For the purposes of today's meeting, when the board president opens public comment, members of the public who would like to provide public comment at our DCA location in Sacramento can approach the table and microphone at the front of the room. For those joining via WebEx, when the board opens for public comment, I will announce that the comment period is open. Members of the public will then be able to click on the hand icon to raise their hands. Instructions will also be on the screen, and call-in users will need to press *3 to raise their hands. You'll have 2 minutes to provide your public comment with a 30-second warning before your time is up. Instructions to connect to the meeting are linked on page 1 of the meeting agenda. If you're experiencing audio issues and are using a computer or mobile device, follow the call-in instructions on page 2 of that instructions to connect to the meeting to use your phone as a speaker. While you're free to express criticism or negative views, for the sake of the members of the public participating on the call, please do not use profane language when making public comments to the board. I will provide a brief reminder of this approach at the start of each public comment item. Thank you.
Thank you. This meeting is called to order. There are 2 board members participating remotely, and they must disclose whether there are any other individuals 18 years of age or older present in the room at the remote location with each board member, and the general nature of the member's relationship with any such individuals. Dr. DeCour, is there anyone 18 years of age or older present in the room with you at your remote location?
No.
Dr. Yu, is there anyone 18 years of age or older present in the room with you at your remote location?
No.
Thank you. Board members participating remotely are reminded that they must visibly appear on camera during the open portion of the meeting. If the remote member experiences any trouble with visibly appearing on camera, the member shall announce the reason for their non-appearance when they turn off their camera, such as due to challenges with internet conductivity. I will now ask the board secretary to please call the roll.
Good morning, Lorraine, Board Secretary. I will call the roll. Chan?
Chan here.
Chan present. Cheng?
Chang, present.
Present. David?
David present.
David present. Deer King?
Deer King present.
Present. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, present.
Felsenfeld present. Forge?
Forge present.
Forge present. Grewal?
Grewal present.
Grewal present. Larin present. Medina?
Medina present.
Medina present. Olage?
Olage present.
Olage present. Thakur?
Thakur present.
Thakur present. Vander Holbley? Absent. You?
Present.
You present. We have a quorum, Mr. President.
Thank you. Let's see. We will now move on to agenda item 21, Board President's report on closed session items. We're on page 70 of the meeting materials. The board met in closed session to deliberate on one stipulated settlement of a first amended accusation. The board voted to reject the stipulated settlement and submit a counter offer. Any board comments? Seeing none. Are there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none. Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on this report, you can look for the hand icon, which is typically at the bottom of your WebEx screen if you're logged in on a computer. If you're on a mobile device, you may need to click on the 3-dot other options in order to find that hand icon. And any calling users can press *3 to raise their hand. Are there any requests for comment on the report? I do not see any requests. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We will now move on to Agenda Item 22, Report on the Dental Hygiene Board of California Activities. I will ask Joanne Pacheco, former dental board member and now president of the Dental Hygiene Board, and Anthony Lum to provide this report. Good morning.
Good morning. President Chan, Acting Executive Officer Bell, board members, and staff. I'm Joanne Pacheco, President of the Dental Hygiene Board, with Mr. Anthony Lum, the board's Executive Officer, to report our activities to you. Since our last report in May, we've been busy addressing the following items in addition to normal program functions. Number one, sunset review. The board will initiate the sunset review process in 2026 to prepare for our sunset review in 2027. Staff has begun to gather program statistics and board information to be assembled in a draft report to be presented to the legislature late next year. Number two, regulations. We continue to work on promulgating with our regulations and identify the need to revise existing regulatory sections as needed. For a change, we only have one active regulatory package at this time, moving through the regulatory process, and it addresses the registered dental hygienists in alternative practice, or RDHAP, to register their dental hygiene practices, whether standalone or portable, with the board. This will assist us in the oversight of these practices and licensees for compliance of the law. Number three, educational programs. Oversight of the dental hygiene educational programs continues with various changes constantly occurring, such as new program directors retire, change in program scheduling, new faculty, and other issues. Several sites to the dental hygiene educational programs occurred over the past few months to ensure a safe practicing environment for the students and operational compliance of the law. Most of the schools have some deviation from law or the Commission on Dental Accreditation, known as CODA, their standards that are easily correctable once identified. However, issues that are more complex are provided a fair timeline to correct the deficiency for compliance. I'm a paper girl, I'm turning the page here. New schools. We're working closely with 4 entities interested in starting new dental hygiene programs in California. They are currently completing the required feasibility study as part of the application process when requesting board approval. Once operational, it's expected they could add 80 to 120 new dental hygiene professionals each year to the workforce and alleviate any dental hygiene workforce shortage concerns. Number 4, workforce shortage. We've received several inquiries from different parties regarding a perceived dental hygienist workforce shortage in California. There was a dip in licensing numbers during and after the pandemic, but this has since recovered. Our information shows more of a maldistribution of the existing licensee population and not a shortage. Licensees congregate in more populated areas of the state where there's patients and jobs, and less in the rural areas like many other professionals. The number of active licensees has remained constant over the years and has not shown a workforce shortage. Other areas of the country may be experiencing a dental hygienist shortage, but not California. Number 5, personnel update. Board members, at our last report, I informed you that we had 1 public member vacancy. Well, we were appointed a new public member from the licensure at the end of the summer. However, one of our other existing public members did not seek reappointment due to other work commitments. So we still have 1 vacant board position once the new year begins. As far as staff, we continue to fill vacant positions as quickly as possible to address the board's work. We currently have 3 vacancies, as one was filled, but another person left for a promotion. So we're still in the same place and we will be working to fill them soon. This is the end of my report, and I would like to turn it over to Mr. Lum.
Good morning, Anthony Lum, Executive Officer of the Dental Hygiene Board. Just wanted to congratulate your new slate of officers and that you obtained a permanent executive officer. So that's huge. And I look forward to continue our working with our collaborative efforts and with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your work. And I'm going to use your metaphor about turning the page. Thank you.
Always going forward, right?
Always going
And we
forward.
won't see you before the holiday, so everyone have a good holiday.
Thank you. Yeah, don't go away. Go ahead.
Ms. Pacheco, you said that you're looking to get a new school and you'll produce 220 hygienists coming out each year. Is that what you were saying? Did I get those numbers correct?
No.
Okay, could you tell me what they were?
Anthony Lum, Executive Officer. Yeah, what we're doing right now is we have 4 entities that are interested in starting new programs. The number of students, depending on each school and their cohorts that they will be graduating, could be between 80 to 120 new licensees per year.
School.
Students.
Students overall.
Correct. Potential
Yeah,
graduates.
but that's throughout a potential range for all 4 programs.
Okay.
4 programs.
I have a question as well. Board Member Forge. Hello. Where is the location of these programs? Is it Northern California, Southern California? Exactly where?
Currently, the entities that want to open up, one's in North Hollywood, 2 are out in Riverside, which is wonderful. And the main one that I'm looking at is Modesto. We don't have anything in the Central Valley, so they're looking at opening up a program as well.
Thank you.
I have a question, please. Thanks, sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. I just, what is the total amount
Go
of?
ahead and identify yourself.
Oh, Dr. Larin, what is the total amount of hygienists in the state? I don't know if you mentioned that. And there was another question. Now I forgot, but what is the total amount?
Well, the consistent number that you're probably interested in is our active licensee population, and it ranges over the years between 18 and 20,000.
And I remember. The other question was, what percentage of hygienists are there per each dentist? Do you know that?
Per each dentist, what we do in our meeting materials is we break out locations of by county, just like you do, of how many hygienists are in each county. Specifically per dentist, the ratio, I couldn't give you that information because there's so many different variables with that
Oh,
question.
Is it possible to get it on the next presentation?
Well, again, there's so many variables with that because we don't, a lot of times, they don't report the actual work location.
Oh,
The information that we go off of as far as the county distribution is concerned is where they reside.
Oh,
So I know there's a lot of hygienists, like as an example for the Bay Area. To work in San Francisco, obviously it's very expensive to live there. So I know there's a number of hygienists that commute from Tracy, which is, a good hour plus commute away. And so those numbers would not register for like San Francisco County, but they would for the Central Valley counties.
Oh, I guess I meant in general. So you said 18,000. How many dentists? 34,000? Like something like that? So it's half a hygienist per dentist. Is that
Yeah, if you
correct?
want to use that ratio, sure.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate it.
Any other board comments? Seeing none. Are there any public comments from on this agenda? In-person public comments? Seeing none. Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the Dental Hygiene Board report, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. If you are on a mobile device, that hand icon might be behind the 3-dot other options menu. We do, and as a reminder, each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning, and we ask people to speak only once per agenda item. We do have a hand raised from S. McLaren. So I will send you a request to unmute.
Yes, this is Susan McLaren from the California Dental Hygienists Association. A very interesting report. I'm glad to hear that there is no shortage of hygienists. And to address the question from the board, that information that you request regarding number of hygienists per dentist, et cetera, is why we need a full scope report research from HCI. So I would have the board encourage HCI to really take a deep dive into both professions to see really what the situation is, because right now, no one knows. Thank you.
Thank you for your comment. Are there any other requests for comment from members on attendees on WebEx? I do not see any further requests for comment, so I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your work. Thank you for your collaborating relationship.
Same to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we'll see you tomorrow, Dr. Chan.
Yes, sir. Okay, let's move on to agenda item 23A, status on pending regulations. We're on page 72 to 73 of the meeting materials. I'm going to ask Mr. Brent Nelson, Legislative and Regulatory Specialist, to present this item. Good morning, Brent.
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Board President. This is just a status update on our pending regulations. I'll start off with our rulemaking to amend California Code of Regulations, CCR Title 16, Section 1005 regarding the minimum standards for infection control. A summary of the proposed changes can be found within the May 14th and 15th, 2025 board meeting materials for those interested. But the update I have today is the proposed text was approved by the Dental Board, of course, at the May meeting. Board staff submitted the proposed text to the Dental Hygiene Board of California for review and consensus. And at the Dental Hygiene Board's meeting, the Dental Hygiene Board approved the Dental Board's approved text, and thereby we reached consensus with the board. Board staff are taking the necessary steps to begin the rulemaking process, including drafting the regulatory documents. So this is something I'm currently working on. It's very laborious, but we're going to keep it moving forward. And I want to, of course, extend my deep thanks to the Dental Hygiene Board for their kind assistance and consensus on this. So that's just that one particular package, but we have another rulemaking package that I'd like to give you an update on. This one is, I'm not going to read all these numbers because no one knows what I'm talking about when I read all these numbers. So what I'll just say is update to rulemaking to amend basically our California Code of Regulations regarding our applications for dentist licensure and fees. And you can see those are all the different sections that we're changing or making updates to or getting rid of. Here's the summary of our proposed changes. It's on the memo here. You can read back. There's a link here if you want to read back to the August 14th, 2025 board meeting materials where all this is covered in great detail. But the update I have for you is that this rulemaking was approved by the board at its February board meeting, and board staff presented a rulemaking proposal to update the board's application regulations for licensure by examination and other applications for dentist licensure to reflect changes in law and regulations, as well as changes to the licensing unit's processes and procedures. And there's a link there if you want to see like in greater detail what those changes are. So board staff has drafted an initial rulemaking package, which includes a notice and initial statement of reasons explaining the regulation's purpose and impact. And after an internal review by the Department of Consumer Affairs Regulations Unit, including Regulations Council and the DCA Budget Office, and Regulations and Board Council and staff identified revisions to the proposed, we identified revisions to the proposed text, and then those changes were made, and we've kind of memorialized them here. There's a link here to the August board meeting materials if you want to see those changes. So the regulations package is under review, and that's kind of where it sits now. I'm presenting this memo as kind of just an update on how these things are moving along. Happy to answer any questions, but no action is requested on this particular memo. Thank you.
Thank you. Words matter.
Yes.
Again, this is informational and there's no action that's requested. Is there any board comment? Seeing none. Okay, is there any in-person public comment on the agenda item 23A? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the status update, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And our call-in users can press *3 to raise their hand. Any comments on the status of pending regulations? I do not see any requests for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to move on to agenda item 24A, discussion and possible action to amend Business and Professions Code, BPC Section 1621, and repeal BPC Section 1632.6 regarding portfolio examinations. We're on page 74 through 76 of the meeting materials. Mr. Nelson, you're on deck.
Thank you, Mr. Board President. Prior to January 1st, 2025, a dentist license applicant could utilize the portfolio examination under BPC Section 1632, Subdivision C1 as a pathway for dentist licensure. As of January 1st, 2025, the Board's Sunset Bill, which was Senate Bill 1453, it amended BPC Section 1632 to strike Subdivision C1A and B, which eliminated the portfolio examination pathway. BPC Section 1621 establishes the qualifications and criteria for individuals that may be authorized by the board to serve as a dentist licensure examiners. BPC Section 1621 Subdivision C limits examiners from holding a position as an officer or faculty member at any college, school, or institution that provides instruction in the same licensure category as that held by the examiner. That limitation does not apply to a portfolio examiner. BPC Section 1632.6 prescribes the procedures for the portfolio examination. As the portfolio pathway for dentist licensure has been repealed, references to the portfolio pathway in BPC Section 1621 and 1632.6 should be stricken. So basically what this is it's cleanup. We need to get rid of old stuff that doesn't belong there anymore. So we have a recommendation here. Staff recommends that the board approve the following actions to remove obsolete references to the repealed portfolio examination pathway for dentist licensure. One, here's the first thing that we recommend: amend BPC Section 1621 Subdivision C to strike the final sentences that apply only to a portfolio examiner, and to repeal BPC Section 1632.6 in its entirety to eliminate all further references to the repealed portfolio examination. And we have action requested here. The board is asked to consider the proposed legislative amendments. If the board agrees with the recommendation to amend BPC Section 1621 Subdivision C and repeal BPC Section 1632.6 as discussed above, the board is asked to make one of the following motions. We have option 1 here, which is support the proposed recommendation, and option 2, which is support the proposed recommendation as revised during the meeting if we want to make changes, or option 3, take no action. I'm asking for option 1. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's put this on the table first as a motion before we have discussion. So can I get a motion on, go ahead, Bob.
I'll move option 1.
Go ahead and identify yourself.
Oh, Robert David.
Okay. Do I get a second on that?
I'll second it.
That's Dr. Forge. Okay. Let's read the motion.
Move to approve for submission to the California State Legislature the legislative proposal in attachment 1 to amend Business and Professions Code Section 1621 and repeal Business and Professions Code Section 1632.6.
And to restate, it's option 1, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Is there any other board discussion? Seeing none. Let's see. Do we vote on it first? Okay. Is there any in-person public comment on the motion? Seeing none. Is there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the motion, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. We ask each speaker to speak only once per agenda item, and we ask for a 2-minute limit with a 30-second warning. Are there any requests for comment on the motion? I see no requests for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you.
Thank you. Board Secretary, please call the roll and record the vote on the motion.
Lighting Board Secretary, motion to approve option 1 as stated by Mr. David. I will call the roll. Chan?
Chan, aye.
Chan, I. Cheng?
Chang, aye.
Cheng, I. David?
David, I.
David, I. Durking?
Dirking, aye.
Durking, I. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, a reluctant aye.
I. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, I. Grewal?
Grewal, aye.
Grewal, I. Larin, I. Medina?
Medina, aye.
Medina, I. Olage?
Olage, aye.
Olage, I. Thakur?
Thakur, aye.
Thakur, I. Vander Hobley? Absent. You?
You, I.
You, I. Motion passes.
Thank you. Okay, wow. That had a lot of history to that thing. Let's move on. Let's see, we're going to go to agenda item 25A, status update on legislative proposals. We're on page 77 to 78 of the meeting materials. Mr. Nelson, you're on deck again.
Thank you, Mr. Board President. So the board approved several legislative proposals at its November 2024, February 2024, February 2025, and May 2025 meetings to resolve various issues stemming from the enactment of the board's sunset bill, SB 14, Senate bill, it should say, hold on a minute. Yeah, the Senate, the sunset bill. So basically what I'm trying to say here with this memo is we have various things that we've approved that we need to get enacted. And so we were unable to incorporate the proposals that we have, and now we're looking at working with whatever method we can to get these things implemented as we move forward. I'll give you a kind of an update on what happened with AB 873 Alanis. Because we were unable to incorporate the proposals in a committee cleanup bill or standalone bill, board staff worked with the California Dental Association and Assemblymember Alanis' office to incorporate the board's legislative proposals into Assembly Bill 873. A summary of the history of AB 873 can be found within the August 14th board materials. On July 14th, 2025, Assemblymember Alanis pulled AB 873 from hearing and is now a 2-year bill. So although the dental assisting legislative proposals were included in AB 873, the dentist-related legislative proposals were not. Board staff will continue to work to advance the board's approved legislative proposals. The table here that you see on page 77 kind of sets forth all of the proposals that we will continue to work to advance and the current status. This is information only, no action is requested. And that concludes my presentation on this agenda item. Thank you.
Thank you. A lot of moving parts here. Is there any board member discussion? Go ahead.
Robert David, if this was cleanup legislation, that's usually non-controversial. Why was the bill pulled and what was considered controversial?
Well, I want to be careful in how I respond to that question. I don't know all of the answers. A lot of times things are not quite clear the way that it comes down. We're still trying to collect information and understand how we can proceed. Generally, there's a lot of things that in this particular bill, fees, other things that people could have a problem with. But nonetheless, we're going to continue to keep trucking, keep moving these things forward, and that's what we're going to do.
Thank you.
So.
Go ahead.
To add to that, some of the provisions in 873, although we we consider them cleanup and that we need some amendments to enact some of the legislation that came out of the board sunset bill. Many of the provisions are substantive, and the committees, while one committee was, okay with moving some of that, another committee was very concerned about some of the provisions going too far or changing what the legislature passed in 1453. So we're still working through some of the issues. So it's really more of a, it's not just technical tweaks. It's substantive changes so that the board can implement the legislation coming out of 1453.
Are there any other board comments or discussion? Okay, seeing none, is there any in-person public comments on agenda item 25A? Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for a public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on this item, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And if you're on a mobile device, that hand icon might be behind the 3-dot other options. Each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Are there any requests for comment? I do not see any requests for comment. I will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We're going to move on to agenda item 25B, the 2025 tentative legislative calendar. We're on pages 79 through 81 of the meeting materials. Mr. Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Board President. This is just an information only kind of thing here where the 2025 tentative legislative calendar is being provided, and it's the calendar that's compiled by the Office of the Assembly Chief Clerk and the Office of the Secretary of the Senate. This, it appears on the following page there on page 80. Most of interest to us is when everything reconvenes and comes back. So just kind of to mention here, we've gone through 2025. There's still one more year in the legislative session. It's a 2-year session. So this kind of shows you when everything resumes again in January. And we will keep monitoring all of the bills, and using this calendar is a good reference because this is what the Senate and Assembly use as well. And that concludes my presentation for this. Thank you.
Thank you. And this report is informational only. There's no action necessary at this time. Is there any board member discussion? Go ahead, Bob.
Robert David, so AB 350, which I know we took a vote to support, it looks like it was signed, is that right? If I'm reading this right?
That is AB 350, healthcare coverage, fluoride treatments by Assembly Member Bonta you're referring to?
Correct.
I'm going to get to the legislative summary in the next item, but if you like, do you want me to answer that question now? or do you
Why don't
want-
we hold off on that
Okay.
one until we get to that
Okay,
one?
so
hang on to
just
that
hold
one.
that in abeyance. Thanks.
Yeah. Is there any other board comment on the calendar? Okay, then let's go on to any in-person public comments on agenda item 25B. Seeing none, are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment on the legislative calendar, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. Each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. Any comments on the calendar? I do not see any requests. I will turn the meeting back to you.
Okay, thank you. Now let's move on to agenda item 25C, the legislative summary for 2025. We're on page 82 through 104 of the meeting materials. Mr. Nelson, take a big breath.
Thank you, Mr. Board President. Here we have the legislative summary for 2025. During the 2025 legislative year, the board has identified bills that would impact the board and healing arts boards in general. Board members and staff have actively participated in the legislative process by communicating with legislators and their staff and taking positions on proposed legislation. And you can see here on this page, page 82, there's a list of bills followed by the board during the 2025 legislative year. The chaptered bills go into effect on January 1st, 2026. But you can see there's quite a bit here. I detail, the ones that we were following, the ones that were vetoed by the governor, and then the bills that the board took formal positions on. And so those are all laid out for you nice and neat here. The summaries of the bills tracked by the board during the first year of the 2025-2026 legislative session have been compiled into the legislative summary for 2025. That's attached here too for the board's consideration and possible adoption. And so what it is it's a very nice report that we put up on the dental board's website that has all of this really nice information, nice table, nice summary. You can click the bill and go right to where it is on LegInfo. And this is kind of the current status of the universe of all things legislative that are impacting the board. So it's a big report. You might recall I kind of tortured the board members at the last meeting with going over each and every bill. I won't do that here to you, I promise. I know you have flights you want to get on and things that need to get moving. So I will just tell you that this is a very comprehensive report and it's being provided. So we do have an action that we are requesting. And then, of course, I am available to answer any questions that you would like on this. But the action being requested is that you consider the legislative summary for 2025 for possible adoption. So we have motion 1 here, move to adopt the legislative summary and post it on the board's website. There's 2 other options there, should you so desire, but I am requesting motion 1. Thank you.
Okay, let's do the motion first, so we put it on the table, and then we can open for discussion. So let's start with a proposed motion. To put the motion on the table about the action requested, we have some choices on page 84. We have to put that on the table first before we can discuss it.
So just to clarify, this is like an after action report for the year, basically, if you were in the military. This is just like we're saying, hey, this is what happened during the legislative year of, and so this is just a report of what happened. This isn't prescribing in the future. Like this stuff's already happened. So it's just a report. History. Thank you.
Oh, I just wanted to comment one thing. Is that okay?
Go ahead.
On page, where was it? Where you have the list of positions that the board has taken. Yeah.
Are you referring to page 83?
89.
Okay.
89?
The position of the board is incorrect on 99, I believe. On 966 is inverted with 1307. The oppose unless amended corresponds to 966.
So you're saying
Repeat.
1307 is wrong? Okay, that
I
was
believe
actually
so.
correct. The board started out as oppose unless amended. We worked with the author's office and stakeholders to amend the bill. And then as you see, it says, but opposition withdrawn on that list. And that's what happened. So a letter was issued that removed the board's opposition.
I remember we spoke about the Carrillo bill, which is the foreign dental the foreign dental school. And that's the one we voted to oppose unless amended. And here it says oppose.
Yes, I think you are correct. We need to add unless amended.
Yes. Oh, so both we had oppose unless amended?
Correct.
Oh, okay. So yes, the Carrillo bill needs to be changed. And David you had that motion and it's not correct here. The result should have been that the board position is opposed unless amended. And we were supposed to have an amendment at this meeting prepared.
Well,
because-
we aren't the ones who prepare the amendments to that bill. That
And
would be
we
the
were- you
author or the
suggested that in
stakeholder.
January was going to be the last time that we could have an amendment introduced. And we should look at it in the November meeting.
Sure,
not
but
May.
we aren't the ones preparing amendments to it, and we
The
haven't
author.
been presented any
Oh, we
amendments.
don't have to suggest an amendment unless amended, they.
It's
do
their
the-
bill, it's not the board's.
Oh, okay. I thought we
Yeah.
had to propose.
No, we don't. I mean, the board has expressed concerns with the bill, then it's up to the author's office, the sponsor, any other stakeholders, to figure out a way to resolve the concerns,
To figure it out.
work with the board staff or executive committee. Yeah.
Okay, then we just need that correction, please.
I also wanted to answer Mr. David's question about AB 350. Yeah. Oh, well, to be clear, the bill was on the Senate floor and it was moved to the inactive file. So we're not really sure if
Well-
that's going to move or not.
And I do have a little bit more information to share because I did speak with Assemblymember Bonta's office and also Lisa Mirowski, who is the principal consultant for the Assembly Committee on Health. And she kindly informed me that the board will be pleased to know that the pediatric oral care fluoride bill, which has been supported, is not dead. They do intend to keep moving it forward in 2026. Governor Newsom has publicly acknowledged and expressed concern over the skyrocketing cost of the Medi-Cal program. And so because of that consideration, the Health Committee is trying to work with the governor's office and seeing what we can do next year so that bill's not dead and have hope, so.
Are there any other items for discussion? Okay, seeing none, is there any, we don't have a motion yet, right? We don't have the motion yet, so let's,
I'll move to approve the posting of the report with the amendment, with the change recommended
Oh,
by
no,
Dr. Laren on AB 966 to move that to oppose unless amended.
Medina, second.
thank you. Is there any other board discussion on this motion as amended? All right. We have to do the motion first, okay. And the motion is stated, okay. Is there any additional board member? Go ahead, no? Okay. A lot of moving parts on this one too. Okay, let's see. Are there any in-person public comments on this motion?
Okay.
Seeing none. Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a comment,
Yeah.
please click the hand icon to raise your hand. And each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. We ask people to speak only once per agenda item. First in line is Ana Maria Quintana. Ana Maria, I'm sending you a request to unmute and you'll have 2 minutes.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. Hi, good morning, everyone. I believe also under the same impression as Dr. Larin that the bill is indeed opposed unless amended, and that it is at this time at the November meeting that the board would reconsider their position on the bill. The bill was first we introduced it last year. It became a 2-year bill. Will be up for a hearing in January. So now would be the time for the board to consider the bill again so that you can formally submit a support position to be included in January. At the last meeting, instructions were given to work with staff. We have had a couple meetings with staff, with your staff and the author's office to discuss these amendments. So the amendments that you requested dealt with additional work that the board would have to incur because of the bill. And our communications revealed that there is no additional work for the board because one of the requirements of the bill is to have a 2-year requirement for students to participate. Well, that requirement is already in existence through your licensure to credential program. So I would ask the board to reconsider and take a formal support position because the amendments that you requested in your oppose unless amendment have been honored. In fact, they never created that responsibility. That being said, we have been working on this bill for quite a while now. Our communities are in desperate need of services. One of the things that have occurred is that the cost of
30
practicing
seconds.
dentists has significantly increased, which makes the salaries significantly increase, which makes it even more difficult for federally qualified health centers to hire dentists. So as time goes by, not only have these two schools not produced more dentists as they've done since 1988 when the program was created, but the practice and the field as a whole have made it harder and harder to practice. By extension, what that's going to mean
Time.
is that our communities are not going to have
Thank
that
you.
support. So
Thank
I would
you,
ask you to
thank
change
you,
your
thank you, thank you. Your 2 minutes is over. Just point of clarification. The point of clarification is this motion that's on the table now is actions that have been already completed, not future or proposed questions ahead. So point of clarification, things that have already done, already decided. Are there any other comments on
Yes.
DCA monitor?
Thank you. Yes. Next in line is Juanita Chavez. Juanita, you may unmute your microphone and present. You'll have 2 minutes.
I'm here representing myself and my mother, Dolores Huerta, recognized civil rights activist who has committed her life to advocating for those in need. And she is behind this legislation because our communities need dental care. It is an urgent crisis, a need that is not being met. And we have support from many organizations and elected officials who are with us on this. And so we hope that we can get you all behind us as well. I would like to name some of the people that we have support letters from, which we will submit to you. Altamed Health Services, Clínicas del Camino Real, Clínica Oscar Romero, El Proyecto del Barrio, South Central Family Health Center, the Punjabi Dental Society, Bella Dental, B Street Family Dental, Omni Family Health, Arroyo Vista Family Health Center, Chirla, the Dolores Huerta Foundation, Cal Dental USA, President of the San Mateo County Board of Supervisors, David J. Canepa. We anticipate soon to have letters of support from the United Healthcare Workers, Garesen, and Supervisor Hilda Solis of Los Angeles. As you can see, this is not something that our community is taking lightly. Our support is
30
growing, and we
seconds.
will continue to let this board and our legislators know how much we need this legislation to help solve a very big problem in our communities. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Point of clarification. Again, the motion before us now is action already taken. And please identify what bill were you referring to? We didn't hear that. I'm sorry.
AB 966.
Thank you. Thank you. Again, point of clarification, actions already taken. DCA moderator, please continue.
Thank you. Our next commenter is Richard Polanco. Richard, I'm going to send you a request to unmute.
Let's hear what they have first. Yeah.
And Richard, that should come as a pop-up on your computer screen. And if you do not see that, you may email the board with your comments. And Richard, it seems that we are having technical issues with your microphone. I will move on to the next request for comment, which is from Howard Kim. Howard, I'm going to send you a request to unmute.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Howard Kim. I am the Regional Dental Director of Via Care Community Health Center. It's a federally qualified health center in Southern California. And I want to speak about Carrillo's bill, AB 966. And I know the board is opposing it unless amended. But I want to kind of speak and add a new perspective because of the passage of HR 1, which is the big, beautiful bill. Dental students, the dental schools that we do have in California currently, a lot of them are private, and with the passage of HR 1 and the big beautiful bill, dental students will only be allowed to take out $50,000 per year in federal loans, and so what will end up happening starting in July of 2026 is a lot of the private schools, a lot of these dental students will no longer be able to take out federal loans to complete their education, and hence a lot of the dental students will be burdened with a lot of private school loans. I myself went to the University of Southern California, the School of Dentistry there, and the complete cost is over $500,000. So in essence, what you'll have is in the near future, you'll have a lot of graduated dentists who will be burdened with a lot of private loans. And unfortunately, that means that they will not be as likely to work at a community
30
health center.
seconds.
They will not be as likely to work at an FQHC like the one that I work at. We do have trouble hiring qualified dentists, and I know with this bill that will help alleviate that and help dentists to attend affordable education so they can work at community health centers. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have a comment from Board Counsel. Are there any other public comments? Now, we're on the third public comment that is commenting on the same issue. If you have any additional comments, please state your position, your name or association, and if you agree. More than that, we will have to move on to the next public comment. Board,
So we do have one more, or
Okay.
our original Richard Polanco. I have opened up the chat feature. If you cannot unmute, you can use the chat feature. If we could display slide 5 in this deck, that will show instructions on how to use the chat feature. You'll click on the little speech bubble at the bottom right of your computer screen, and you can type into the chat what your comment was.
Yeah.
And I don't know that Mr. Polanco has access to the chat feature or a keyboard. If someone could provide an email address for Richard Polanco to submit his comment, that would be helpful perhaps. The email address is dentalboard, DENTALBOARD, all one word, at dca.ca.gov. So Richard Polanco, if you can email dentalboard at dca.ca.gov with your comment. And it does look like that is the last commenter who has requested. So at this point, I will turn the meeting back to you, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Board Counsel.
Tara Welch, Board Counsel. Recognizing the importance of and interest in Assembly Bill 966, I just wanted to clarify the board's concerns as submitted
to Assembly Member Carrillo, who's the author of the bill. The board communicated that, as noted during the board's May meeting, the April 7, 2025 version of the bill, which is still the same version, would require significant statutory and regulatory changes and board staff time preparing the new workforce report required under the bill and increased staffing resource costs. The bill also may result in decreased consumer protection resulting from licensees who graduated from a foreign dental school that had not been audited or otherwise reviewed for educational requirements compliance for many years. The bill also may result in a foreign dental school maintaining board approval without board oversight of compliance with existing regulatory requirements for a long time, as long as the school had merely applied for approval by the Commission on Dental Accreditation of the American Dental Association, or CODA. So there were more concerns raised than just a board report. Just wanted to make that clarification.
Thank you. Well, there's no other provisions for any other testimony. So the motion is, go ahead, Board Secretary, take the vote.
The motion, Dr. Larin, to move and adopt the legislative summary for 2025 and post it on the board's website. I'll take the roll. Chan?
Chan, aye.
Cheng?
Chang, aye.
Aye. David?
David, aye.
David, aye. Deer King?
Deer King, aye.
King, aye. Felsenfeld?
Felsenfeld, aye.
Felsenfeld, aye. Forge?
Forge, aye.
Forge, aye. Gruel?
Grewal, aye.
Gruel, aye. Larin, aye. Medina?
Medina, aye.
Medina, aye. Olage?
Olagi, aye.
Olage, aye. Thakur?
Thakur, aye.
Thakur, aye. Vanderbilt, absent. You?
You aye.
You, aye. Motion passes.
Thank you. Thank you. We have one more. Go ahead, Tara.
Tara Welch, Board Counsel. I just want to also note that AB 966, the board's position was oppose unless amended. So if the author presents amendments to the bill that resolve the board's concerns, the executive committee could change the board's position to neutral. So, there's still action that can be taken to resolve the concerns and remove the opposed position.
Thank you. Thank you for the clarification. Thank you, Mr. Nelson. Wow. Let's move on to agenda item 26. Public comment on future agenda items. Are there any in-person public comments on this agenda item? Seeing none. Are there any public comments from individuals participating via WebEx? DCA moderator, please facilitate the lines for public comment.
Thank you. This is the moderator. If anyone would like to make a suggestion for a future agenda item, you may look for the hand icon and click that to raise your hand. And if you're on a mobile device, that hand icon might be behind the 3-dot other options. And each speaker will have 2 minutes with a 30-second warning. We do have a request for comment from Ana Maria Quintana. I'm going to send you a request to unmute your mic.
Hello, everyone. I would ask the board to consider putting on the agenda for an upcoming meeting a complete discussion on the lack of access to dental care in our communities. You mentioned there are new board members, there are vacancies, existing vacancies. So hopefully these vacancies will be filled by the time you have your next board meeting. And if so, you would have a board that hasn't received a history and understanding of what the current situation is in terms of dental care and lack of access. So I would encourage you to include that just to provide that background for your board members and the community at large. Thank you.
Thank you.
And our next request for comment is from Michelle Carr. Michelle, I'm going to send you a request to unmute your microphone. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Yes, my name is Michelle Carr, and I apologize for not commenting earlier, but I just want the board to know that myself and a team of others have been confirmed to work with the University of Moldova. This again is regarding AB 966, who they are pursuing CODA accreditation status. And I am one of the specialists on that team that has experience with CODA accreditation and helping programs achieve that accreditation. So hoping that that also could be a future agenda item, since one of the concerns was that this institution has not been approved by CODA. So hopefully that will be changing in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. And I do not see any further requests for comments, so will turn the meeting back to you, Chair.
Thank you.
You're
Is there any board discussion? Seeing none. Holy smokes. We're done. Let's move on to agenda item 27, adjournment. Thank you, everyone.